In a world that pulls us in countless directions, there's a rare and quiet power in finding a sense of calm within. It's not a loud, flashy kind of power, nor is it something we wear for others to see. Instead, it's the type of strength that feels like a steady, unshakable presence deep inside. It's knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you can meet it with a clear, composed mind. A mind that doesn't race with worry or get easily rattled by setbacks or others' opinions. Many seek it, yet few truly experience this kind of peace. And it's easy to see why. Our days are filled with distractions, worries, and noise. We're constantly fed messages that we need to do more, be more, and have more. But in chasing these endless demands, a quieter voice often gets lost. A voice reminding us of the power of being fully at ease with ourselves and the world around us. This journey to inner peace may not require a plane ticket to a distant retreat, a bank-breaking therapy session, or even years of study. It requires something that is actually much simpler, but not always easy to practice, adopting timeless wisdom and applying it to our daily lives. This wisdom, distilled over centuries, offers us tools to weather any storm, to stand strong when others might falter, and to live with a kind of clarity that's all too rare. There's something liberating about realizing that peace doesn't come from controlling every aspect of life. Instead, it's born from our ability to stay rooted and strong no matter what comes our way. We can't always control other people's actions, the economy, or the unexpected twists of fate. But we can control how we respond. And in the end, that's all we need. It's like building a sturdy fortress within, one that can't be easily toppled by temporary troubles or the moods of others. Think of it like cultivating a garden. Peace is something you grow within yourself, like tending to flowers and plants that you water, care for, and protect from weeds. Each small act of patience, each practice of gratitude, each moment of choosing to step back rather than react, is like planting a seed. Over time, these seeds grow into something resilient and beautiful, a place within where you can retreat, no matter what's happening outside. Along this journey, you'll find that calmness isn't about avoiding life or hiding from reality. It's about facing everything that comes your way with a steady, wise mind. Whether you're navigating difficult relationships, managing stress, or simply striving for a sense of clarity in a noisy world, you'll discover that true peace is active. It's choosing how to engage, how to respond, and how to remain anchored when things around you feel chaotic. This isn't a quick fix or a secret formula, but it is a journey that can transform how you experience each day, each moment, and even yourself. There's an unexpected freedom in discovering that you don't have to control or change everything around you to feel secure and at ease. Instead, the true power lies in your inner response, your ability to see things as they are and still find a way to stay grounded, calm, and unbothered. And the best part? This type of inner peace doesn't rely on others. It isn't granted by success, wealth, or the approval of those around you. It comes from a place deeper within, a place that's available to anyone willing to practice, reflect, and apply timeless principles to everyday life. Once you tap into it, you'll begin to notice a profound shift in how you see and experience the world. Problems that once felt heavy may seem lighter. Small irritations may lose their sting, and gradually you'll feel a calm that doesn't vanish at the first sign of trouble. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress and building a foundation within yourself that allows you to meet life with courage, patience, and resilience. It's about becoming unshaken by things that once disturbed your peace and learning to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more connected to your true self. So, let's take this step together, diving into the wisdom of those who've walked this path before us, who've shown us that even in the most chaotic of times, we can find a sense of stillness within. We'll explore practices and insights that have withstood the test of time, grounding us in principles that bring balance, resilience, and a steady calm to our daily lives. Each step will bring you closer to a type of peace that is powerful, not because it removes difficulties, but because it transforms how you move through them. Let's begin, not with grand promises of a perfect life, but with a quiet commitment to building a place of calm within, a place that no one else can disturb. Because ultimately, this journey is for you, an invitation to strengthen your core, cultivate your clarity, and find that rare and lasting peace that comes from within. Let's step deeper into the heart of this journey. We're now moving beyond the surface into the unbreakable foundations of self-esteem. This isn't about a fleeting sense of confidence, nor about momentary affirmations. It's about building a solid core of self-worth so strong that it holds no matter the pressures and judgments of the world. Many people chase self-esteem as if it's something to be collected from others, a nod of approval, a compliment, a like on social media. But the truth is, the deepest form of self-esteem is built from the inside out. It's a kind of quiet, unmovable confidence that comes from understanding who you are, what you value, and what you stand for. When you carry this, you're no longer swayed by the opinions of others, nor are you thrown by temporary setbacks or criticisms. Instead, you find a kind of inner freedom that's grounded in the deepest parts of who you are. This kind of self-esteem doesn't come from boasting or trying to prove anything. It's built on the timeless principles that keep you centered, clear, and resilient. It's a foundation that can withstand life's challenges because it's rooted in something far stronger than praise or validation from others. This foundation is built one layer at a time, and each layer strengthens your ability to walk through life with a sense of purpose, clarity, and confidence that can't be taken away. So let's dive in together, exploring the keys to indestructible self-esteem that stem from Stoic wisdom. These are not quick fixes, but practices that, when woven into daily life, become part of your very being. They're principles that align you with your true self, creating a strength within that nothing external can shake. This journey will reveal the timeless wisdom of living with integrity, calmness, and clarity, each step fortifying the kind of self-esteem that stands unshaken by life's storms. When you hold this self-esteem, you don't just see yourself differently. You also navigate the world with a sense of purpose and poise that impacts everything you touch. It's a quiet power, a steady strength, and a gift that allows you to experience life with a grounded heart and a resilient spirit. Let's explore how each of these principles can help you build an inner strength that is unbreakable. Self-respect lies at the heart of indestructible self-esteem, yet it's often overlooked in favor of seeking respect from others. The Stoics saw self-respect not as an indulgence, but as a necessity. When you hold yourself in high regard, you naturally align with what matters to you. This alignment becomes a guide, helping you navigate even the trickiest of situations without feeling lost. Self-respect keeps you from engaging in actions that go against your values. It shields you from the regret of choices made to please others or to gain approval at the cost of your own peace. True self-respect isn't loud or arrogant. It's simply a deep, quiet acknowledgement of your own worth, guiding you to make choices that honor who you truly are. Integrity follows naturally from self-respect, reinforcing the core of true self-esteem. Living with integrity means that you act in accordance with your values, even when no one is watching. It's easy to stick to principles when the world is watching, but integrity requires that you remain honest with yourself, even in private moments. The Stoics believed that integrity was essential to a clear conscience, the kind that grants deep peace. This doesn't mean perfection, but a commitment to honesty and authenticity, allowing you to stand tall, knowing that you haven't betrayed yourself or others. Each time you choose integrity, you strengthen your self-esteem. Integrity isn't about the grand gestures, but about the small, consistent choices to live honestly and honorably. Acceptance of imperfection brings a profound relief to the pursuit of self-esteem. It is easy to get caught up in the chase for an ideal, comparing yourself to impossible standards. But Stoicism teaches that our value isn't diminished by imperfections. In fact, our flaws and struggles are a part of our unique journey. Rather than shying away from mistakes or failures, embracing them as part of growth gives you the freedom to be human without the weight of unrealistic expectations. With acceptance, you no longer need to pretend to be perfect, nor do you fear judgment. This acceptance is a key to unbreakable self-esteem, as it frees you from the need to prove yourself constantly. Instead, you live from a place of true self-worth, acknowledging both your strengths and your areas for growth. Gratitude, often seen as a soft virtue, has a powerful role in fostering self-esteem. By practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. Gratitude reminds you of your inherent worth, independent of external achievements or recognition. When you can see value in the simplest aspects of life, it becomes easier to see value within yourself. Gratitude fosters contentment, a sense of peace with who you are and what you have, rather than striving endlessly for more. The Stoics believed that this perspective allows you to hold your self-esteem steady, even when life's circumstances aren't ideal. Gratitude grounds you in the present, helping you recognize your worth right here and now, without waiting for some future accomplishment or acknowledgement. Emotional resilience, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, equips you to handle setbacks with strength and composure. The Stoics understood that challenges are a natural part of life, and rather than avoiding them, they trained their minds to stay calm under pressure. Emotional resilience means accepting life's ups and downs without letting them define your self-worth. Instead of letting criticism or failure chip away at your self-esteem, resilience teaches you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You learn that setbacks don't reflect your value, but are simply opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. With emotional resilience, your self-esteem remains intact even in difficult times, providing a steady foundation that supports you through life's challenges. Self-reliance encourages you to trust yourself and your own judgment rather than relying excessively on others' opinions. It's easy to look outward for validation, especially in a world where approval is often seen as a measure of worth. But true self-esteem requires that you cultivate trust in your own abilities and instincts. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. It simply means that your sense of worth isn't dependent on external affirmation. The Stoics valued self-reliance as a way of developing inner strength and autonomy, qualities that are essential for a steady self-esteem. When you rely on yourself, you are free from the need to fit into others' expectations. This freedom empowers you to make choices that are in alignment with who you are, rather than who others expect you to be. Self-discipline is the quiet, consistent force that strengthens self-esteem over time. Discipline, in the Stoic sense, is about choosing actions that align with your values, even when they aren't easy or immediately rewarding. This kind of discipline builds trust in yourself, knowing that you can rely on your own actions and choices. Each time you honor your commitments, big or small, you strengthen the foundation of your self-esteem. Self-discipline teaches you that confidence isn't built from occasional bursts of motivation, but from a steady commitment to your own growth and integrity. By practicing discipline, you develop a self-esteem that doesn't waver based on moods or external influences. Forgiveness is often seen as a kindness extended to others, but it is just as much a gift to yourself. Holding on to past mistakes, regrets, or grievances only weighs down your self-esteem. By practicing forgiveness, you free yourself from the weight of past hurts, allowing you to move forward without the burden of resentment or guilt. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, isn't about excusing harmful actions, but about choosing to release their hold on your spirit. This choice allows you to see yourself as someone capable of growth, learning, and compassion. When you forgive, you reinforce a sense of self that is resilient and unencumbered by the past, a self that is strong and unbreakable in its worth. Purpose, perhaps the most transformative key to self-esteem, gives direction and meaning to your life. The Stoics believed that purpose isn't found in grand achievements, but in aligning your actions with your values and contributing meaningfully to the world around you. Purpose provides a steady anchor that keeps you grounded even in the face of adversity. When you have a sense of purpose, your self-esteem is not swayed by temporary setbacks or external approval. You are guided by something deeper, a sense of contribution and meaning that gives your life a steady, fulfilling direction. Purpose teaches you that your worth isn't determined by what you achieve, but by the integrity with which you live each day. Each of these principles, woven into daily life, creates a foundation of self-esteem that doesn't falter in difficult times or depend on the approval of others. Instead, it grows from within, a steady, unbreakable core that remains true no matter the pressures from outside. With these keys, your self-esteem becomes a source of quiet strength, guiding you with clarity, resilience, and a calm confidence that allows you to face life's ups and downs with poise. These timeless practices are the bedrock of inner peace, a way of living that not only fortifies your self-worth, but brings a profound sense of fulfillment, freedom, and stability. As you step further into this path of inner strength, there's another aspect to consider, a concept as timeless as it is powerful. It's a principle that may feel counterintuitive at first, but has roots in both ancient wisdom and modern insight. This is the art of letting go, of releasing the tight grasp on desires that often binds us and, paradoxically, prevents us from attracting what we seek. If you've ever felt like something you truly wanted slipped further away the harder you pursued it, this lesson may be your key to transformation. In our world, it's common to hold on tightly to what we desire, a job, a relationship, a certain outcome, thinking that this focus alone will bring it closer. Yet, Stoicism, along with many other philosophical teachings, reveals a surprising truth: that freedom from attachment, even to our deepest desires, often creates the space necessary for those very things to come into our lives. When you release your hold, you also release the pressures of control, fear, and anxiety that accompany a tight grip. This release isn't passive. It's a way to transform the energy of want into something freer, more expansive, and inviting. Think of it like letting a river flow instead of trying to contain it. When you let go, you remove the blockages that constrict possibilities. The focus shifts from the object of desire to the openness of mind, the calm and clear presence that draws opportunities without force. There is a wisdom in detachment that teaches you not only how to let life unfold, but how to engage with each moment without clinging. This practice doesn't make you indifferent to your dreams or goals. Rather, it allows you to approach them with a sense of ease and flow, unburdened by fear or desperation. Letting go requires inner strength because it's human nature to seek control. We want assurances, a guarantee that our effort will bear fruit. Yet, clinging to control often disrupts the natural unfolding of life. By releasing this need, you create a space that invites what's meant for you to arrive in its own time. This isn't resignation. It's an empowered choice to trust in your path, knowing that even without force, your intention and effort are enough. To apply this principle, begin by clarifying your intentions with sincerity and purpose. Reflect on what you want and why you want it, allowing yourself to be honest about your motivations. In doing so, you'll often find that the deepest desires are not as much about the outcome as about the feeling it brings, a sense of fulfillment, love, or security. Focusing on this underlying feeling rather than the specific outcome helps release the pressure of attachment. It allows you to embody those qualities, attracting experiences that align naturally with your inner state. Acceptance is another key aspect of letting go. Many people resist this step, seeing acceptance as a sign of giving up. But acceptance isn't surrendering your desires. It's recognizing the current moment as it is. When you accept what is, you're free to act without the weight of denial or resistance. Acceptance clears the way for calm, deliberate action rather than reaction based on frustration or disappointment. This practice turns your focus inward, empowering you to respond to life with flexibility and clarity. One of the most powerful ways to release attachment is to cultivate gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude roots you in the present, showing you that fulfillment isn't found solely in some distant future, but in the small joys and victories you experience each day. When you can find contentment in the present, you release the urgency that often surrounds desires. You realize that while new experiences can enhance your life, they aren't the sole source of happiness. This perspective helps you to attract from a place of abundance rather than lack, a shift that makes all the difference in how you engage with your desires. Focus on the process rather than the outcome. Life is full of uncertainties, and no one can predict every turn it will take. By investing your energy in the process, whether it's practicing a skill, developing a relationship, or pursuing a goal, you build a sense of satisfaction that's not dependent on a single result. This shift in focus brings you closer to your desires naturally, without the stress of needing a specific outcome to feel fulfilled. The process itself becomes meaningful, and in letting go of rigid expectations, you often find that opportunities arise unexpectedly. Patience is another powerful ally in the practice of letting go. We live in a world of instant gratification, where waiting is often seen as unnecessary or even painful. Yet, patience allows you to appreciate the timing of life, to see that some things are worth the wait. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means taking consistent, deliberate steps while trusting that the right outcome will come in its own time. This trust strengthens your inner peace, allowing you to stay focused on what matters without the need for immediate rewards. Self-reliance is essential in this journey of release. While connection and support from others are valuable, self-reliance teaches you to find security within. By cultivating inner strength and self-assurance, you reduce dependence on external validation or outcomes. This independence makes it easier to release attachment because your sense of worth isn't tied to anything outside of yourself. You become your own source of stability, allowing you to pursue goals with a calm assurance that doesn't waver based on external factors. Mindfulness, the practice of being present, further aids in releasing attachment. When you're truly present, your focus isn't on what you lack or what you're trying to achieve in the future. It's on this moment, on appreciating what's here now. Mindfulness shows you that peace and fulfillment aren't distant states, but are available in each breath, each action, each experience. By grounding yourself in the present, you reduce the anxiety that often accompanies attachment, bringing a sense of calm that invites the right things into your life naturally. Resilience is also a powerful trait to develop, especially in the face of setbacks. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean you won't encounter challenges or disappointments. Resilience teaches you to handle these with grace, to adapt and keep moving forward without letting them diminish your self-worth. Each setback becomes a lesson, a way to grow stronger and more aligned with your path. This resilience allows you to remain open to new possibilities, seeing each experience as part of the journey rather than a verdict on your success. Generosity of spirit is another way to embrace detachment. When you share what you have, whether it's time, knowledge, or kindness, you create an energy of abundance. Generosity doesn't mean giving everything away, but it does mean approaching life with an open heart, willing to give as well as receive. This openness frees you from the mindset of scarcity, helping you see that fulfillment comes not only from getting what you want, but from enriching the world around you. When you give without expectation, you often find that life gives back in unexpected ways, reinforcing the idea that you don't need to hold tightly to experience abundance. The ability to accept change gracefully is crucial in the practice of letting go. Change is constant, and resisting it often leads to frustration. By embracing change as a natural part of life, you reduce the attachment to any single outcome or situation. This flexibility opens you up to new possibilities, allowing you to move forward without being held back by the past or limited by expectations. When you flow with life's changes, you find that letting go becomes easier and that the journey itself becomes more fulfilling. Self-compassion is essential for navigating this process. It's easy to feel frustration or self-doubt when things don't go as planned, especially when letting go is challenging. But self-compassion reminds you that growth is a process, that each step forward, no matter how small, is valuable. By treating yourself with kindness, you create a safe space within to explore, to make mistakes, and to grow. This self-compassion is the gentle reminder that your worth isn't tied to any outcome, but is inherent, allowing you to let go with confidence. As you practice these principles, you may find that letting go isn't an act of loss, but a way of creating space for new growth. It's an approach that doesn't force or control, but flows with life, making room for joy, abundance, and opportunity to arrive naturally. This journey toward letting go and attracting what's meant for you isn't about abandoning your dreams, but about approaching them with a calm, trusting heart. With each step, you're creating a life that's not only fulfilling, but grounded in a peace that cannot be shaken. Through these practices, you build a foundation of calm confidence, a quiet knowing that life unfolds in its own rhythm, and that by embracing this flow, you invite all that is truly aligned with you. This is the art of attraction through release, a path that not only brings fulfillment, but deepens the resilience and clarity you carry with you each day. Just as we've explored the art of letting go to make room for what truly matters, the next step calls us to rebuild the core strength that confidence provides. Confidence is not about projecting an image or forcing self-belief. It's about grounding ourselves in principles that keep us steady, even in moments of doubt. If you've felt your confidence waver, this journey will offer you 6 timeless practices rooted in Stoicism to rebuild that inner trust, not just for temporary reassurance, but for lasting resilience. The first step to reclaiming confidence is to reconnect with your values. When doubts creep in, it's easy to question your worth, but grounding yourself in the principles you believe in shifts the focus from insecurity to purpose. The Stoics taught that values act as a guide, giving you a sense of direction even in challenging times. Take a moment to clarify what matters most to you, whether it's integrity, compassion, patience, or resilience. When your actions align with these values, confidence flows naturally because you're living from a place of authenticity. This alignment means that, regardless of external opinions, you know your choices are rooted in something solid. You're no longer swayed by fleeting judgments, as your confidence now rests on a foundation built from the inside out. Strengthening confidence also requires us to embrace small victories. Society often glorifies big achievements, but confidence grows in the small, consistent steps that lead you forward. Each step you take, no matter how minor, is a testament to your capability and commitment. The Stoics believed that progress, not perfection, defines true success. Instead of waiting for a grand outcome to feel accomplished, learn to recognize the value in each small effort. This practice shifts your focus from doubt to achievement, reminding you that confidence is a process. By valuing your daily actions, you reaffirm that confidence isn't built overnight, but gradually, through the steady accumulation of small wins. These moments become the quiet affirmations of your strength, a reminder that even the smallest steps forward are steps toward growth. Another crucial Stoic practice for reclaiming confidence is the art of self-reflection. Confidence often fades when we don't take time to understand our own thoughts, actions, and intentions. Self-reflection allows you to evaluate your experiences without judgment, giving you the clarity to see both strengths and areas for growth. This practice isn't about dwelling on flaws, but about building awareness. By observing yourself with honesty and compassion, you gain insight into your patterns, empowering you to make changes where needed. When you reflect with kindness, you create a safe space to grow, making it easier to handle setbacks with grace. This level of self-awareness is key to resilience, as it grounds you in a realistic understanding of yourself, strengthening confidence through clarity rather than illusion. Building confidence also requires that you learn to separate your self-worth from external validation. In a world where opinions are freely shared and often harsh, it's easy to let the views of others influence how you see yourself. But Stoic wisdom teaches that true confidence doesn't waver based on external praise or criticism. Instead, it stems from an unshakable understanding of your own worth. Practice focusing on your actions and intentions rather than the reactions of others. When you place value on how you show up, regardless of others' opinions, you take back control of your self-worth. This independence from external validation allows you to approach life with freedom and inner assurance. You no longer need approval to feel worthy, as your confidence is rooted in a steady understanding of who you are, independent of outside influence. Another essential Stoic practice for restoring confidence is to embrace discomfort as a part of growth. Often, confidence wavers because we avoid situations that challenge us, fearing failure or rejection. But confidence isn't built by staying comfortable. It's strengthened each time we step into the unknown. The Stoics understood that facing discomfort head-on builds resilience, transforming fear into an opportunity for growth. Each time you embrace discomfort, you expand your comfort zone, proving to yourself that you can handle more than you might have thought. This willingness to engage with life, even when it's difficult, is a testament to your strength. Over time, you'll find that discomfort loses its power to intimidate, as you develop a steady confidence that's grounded in experience and adaptability. Another Stoic principle in reclaiming confidence is the practice of acceptance. Often, a lack of confidence comes from resisting reality, wishing circumstances were different, or regretting past choices. Acceptance teaches us to let go of what we cannot change, freeing us to focus on what we can influence. This doesn't mean resignation, but a realistic understanding that some things are beyond control. By accepting reality as it is, you reclaim your power to act within your current situation, rather than wasting energy on what might have been. This perspective reinforces confidence by grounding you in the present, enabling you to approach life with clarity and calm. Acceptance allows you to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to practice resilience, a mindset that strengthens your confidence with each experience. These Stoic practices create a steady foundation of confidence that isn't easily shaken by external forces. They are tools not just for regaining lost confidence, but for building an enduring sense of self-worth that stands firm in any circumstance. As you incorporate these principles, you'll find that confidence becomes more than just a feeling. It's a state of being, rooted in self-respect, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to your values. In following this path, you reclaim a confidence that is both quiet and powerful, an inner assurance that guides you through life with strength and calm. As you've embraced the journey of rebuilding confidence through timeless Stoic wisdom, it's time to take things a step further with practices that can transform you in profound and visible ways. The Stoics understood that real change doesn't come from a single moment or inspiration. It's the result of deliberate challenges that stretch your resilience, sharpen your clarity, and solidify your inner strength. In the next 30 days, you're invited to take on a series of challenges, each designed to unlock a part of yourself that may have been held back, overlooked, or buried beneath everyday routines and distractions. These are not superficial exercises. They are practices rooted in ancient philosophy and tailored for modern life, each one a gateway to greater discipline, purpose, and peace. Through these challenges, you'll find yourself breaking patterns, stepping into new perspectives, and uncovering a steadiness that goes beyond daily worries. The first challenge is to cultivate an unwavering morning ritual. Setting a consistent routine, no matter how simple, establishes a foundation of control and mindfulness at the start of each day. This isn't about complexity, but about commitment. Choose a set of actions that ground you, perhaps a few minutes of meditation, journaling, or a short walk. By dedicating this time to yourself, you send a message that your peace and focus are priorities. Morning rituals are like anchors. They keep you steady in the face of the day's demands, and the repetition solidifies a sense of self-respect and intention. The next challenge calls for a daily practice of mental clarity. Each day, take time to examine your thoughts, not to control them, but to observe them without judgment. This practice encourages you to step back and see the patterns of thought that often go unnoticed. Maybe it's a tendency to worry about things beyond your control, or a habit of dwelling on past mistakes. By observing your thoughts without identifying with them, you begin to see the space between your mind and your true self. This clarity frees you from unnecessary mental clutter, empowering you to engage with life with focus and calm. Another key challenge is to identify one small habit that no longer serves you and replace it with a positive alternative. Habits are powerful forces, shaping much of our lives without conscious effort. This challenge invites you to examine your routines, whether it's reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, procrastinating on tasks, or holding back in conversations. By swapping out a single habit, you take control of your behavior, proving to yourself that change is possible, even on a small scale. This practice reinforces your sense of agency and builds the momentum that can lead to larger shifts over time. A powerful physical challenge for the month is to practice a simple form of voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed that experiencing discomfort by choice, whether through a cold shower, a brisk morning walk, or a few minutes of intense exercise, strengthens resilience. These small moments of discomfort remind you of your capacity to endure and adapt, building both mental and physical toughness. By choosing discomfort, you develop a stronger relationship with your own willpower, learning that you can push through temporary discomfort for long-term gain. This practice isn't about self-punishment. It's about expanding your comfort zone and showing yourself that you're capable of handling more than you might think. A challenge that deeply enriches your sense of connection is to give genuine, focused attention to one person each day. In our fast-paced world, conversations often become rushed, with minds divided between screens, tasks, and thoughts. This challenge is about breaking that habit. When you engage with someone, practice full presence. Listen without planning your response, and let your attention rest entirely on what they're saying. This practice of deep listening not only strengthens relationships, but also cultivates patience and humility. You begin to realize that the act of being fully present is a gift, both to others and to yourself, fostering connection and empathy. Another transformative practice for this month is to spend a few minutes each day in gratitude. The Stoics valued gratitude not as a fleeting feeling, but as a disciplined perspective that grounds you in reality. Rather than focusing on what's lacking or on unfulfilled desires, take time each day to acknowledge the blessings in your life, however small. This isn't about forcing positivity, but about recognizing the abundance that already exists. Gratitude shifts your mind from a state of want to a state of contentment, reinforcing a steady, appreciative attitude that brings calm and satisfaction. Another challenge is to end each day with a brief reflection on your actions. The Stoics believed that reflecting on your day without judgment helps you see where you've aligned with your values and where you may have strayed. Before you sleep, take a few moments to consider how you showed up, what choices you made, and whether they reflected the person you aspire to be. This reflection isn't about self-criticism, it's an opportunity to refine your approach, learning from each experience. Through this daily practice, you cultivate a relationship with yourself that's honest, supportive, and growth-oriented. These challenges, practiced with intention and consistency, will transform you over the course of a month. Each one is a stepping stone, reinforcing the habits, mindsets, and practices that build strength, resilience, and inner peace. As you move through each day, you'll notice subtle shifts, a steadier mind, a calmer presence, a clearer sense of purpose. This transformation isn't loud or dramatic, but it's powerful and lasting, grounding you in a way that invites calm and clarity to flourish. Each of these practices brings you closer to a version of yourself that is resilient, wise, and aligned with a deeper purpose, laying the groundwork for a life that feels both full and free. As you've journeyed through the practices of building confidence and embracing challenges, the next step is to deepen your understanding of Stoic psychology, a way of thinking that not only guides your actions, but enriches your mind with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Falling in love with Stoic psychology isn't about studying philosophy for philosophy's sake. It's about developing a mind that's ready to handle whatever life brings, with both strength and calm. The beauty of Stoic psychology is that it isn't a rigid set of rules. Rather, it's a set of perspectives that empower you to handle life with wisdom. When you integrate these perspectives, you'll begin to see the world differently. You'll gain a kind of mental flexibility that keeps you centered, allowing you to move through life without getting thrown off balance by every minor setback. These principles are designed to ground you, to help you grow, and to lead you to a kind of happiness that's deep, stable, and independent of external circumstances. One of the first steps to embracing Stoic psychology is to see obstacles as opportunities. In the Stoic mindset, every challenge is a chance to grow, to practice resilience, and to prove your own strength. When you shift your perspective in this way, you're no longer burdened by difficulties. Instead, you're empowered by them. Rather than wishing away challenges, you learn to ask, what can I gain from this experience? This approach helps you to welcome growth even in uncomfortable moments, turning every setback into a stepping stone toward greater resilience. Another powerful element of Stoic psychology is the practice of controlling your inner response rather than external events. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes not from shaping the outside world, but from mastering your own reactions to it. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but about guiding them. By learning to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, you free yourself from impulsive reactions that might later lead to regret. This control over your internal state gives you a sense of power that doesn't depend on circumstances. You can face each moment with a steady mind, knowing that while you may not control every outcome, you control how you engage with it. Embracing the concept of impermanence is another essential practice within Stoic psychology. Everything in life is in a state of constant change, and clinging to things as they are only creates suffering. By accepting the impermanent nature of life, you learn to let go of attachments that keep you bound in fear or frustration. This doesn't mean you stop caring. Rather, you care deeply, but without the need to control or hold on tightly. Understanding impermanence allows you to appreciate the present fully, as you're no longer caught up in the anxiety of losing it. Stoic psychology also encourages a focus on intention over outcome. Rather than fixating on results, Stoics place value on the purpose and intention behind their actions. When you act with clear intentions, you're less swayed by how others perceive your actions. Instead of getting lost in worries about success or failure, you find fulfillment in the integrity of your choices. This perspective frees you from the pressure of outcomes, making each action meaningful in itself. When you focus on intention, you cultivate a sense of purpose that guides you with confidence and clarity. Learning to limit desires is another cornerstone of Stoic thinking. Stoics understood that excessive desires often lead to discontent and restlessness. By practicing contentment with what you have, you free yourself from the endless chase for more. This doesn't mean giving up on dreams or goals, but rather recognizing that your happiness isn't dependent on accumulating more. Limiting desires shifts your focus from external rewards to internal satisfaction, creating a lasting sense of peace that isn't easily shaken by life's ups and downs. The practice of reframing thoughts is a powerful tool within Stoic psychology. It's easy to see situations as purely negative, but Stoics teach that by changing your perspective, you can often find a more empowering view. For instance, instead of viewing a difficult task as a burden, you might see it as an opportunity to strengthen your skills. This skill of reframing not only shifts your mood, but also transforms how you approach challenges, making you more adaptable and resilient. Reframing teaches you that it's not the situation, but your interpretation that influences how you feel, giving you control over your mental state. Self-discipline is another practice that strengthens your mind and builds trust in your own abilities. Discipline isn't about denying pleasure, but about guiding your actions in alignment with your values. Each time you exercise discipline, whether it's in resisting a temptation or sticking to a goal, you reinforce a sense of self-respect and inner strength. This control over your impulses and choices builds confidence, creating a foundation of self-assurance that doesn't depend on external factors. Self-discipline helps you navigate life with intention, as you become someone who can rely on their own will and actions. Practicing humility is a fundamental aspect of Stoic psychology. Humility allows you to approach life with an open mind, recognizing that there's always room to grow and learn. By embracing humility, you become more receptive to new insights and less attached to the ego's need to be right. Humility isn't about devaluing yourself. It's about seeing yourself as a part of a larger whole, which fosters compassion, patience, and a willingness to understand others. This humility grounds you, preventing the highs of success or the lows of failure from altering your self-worth. Cultivating gratitude is another essential Stoic practice that transforms your perspective. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already possess, creating a sense of abundance and satisfaction. Each day, by taking a moment to appreciate small blessings, you build a mindset that values the present. Gratitude isn't merely a feel-good exercise. It's a way to anchor yourself in positivity, building a steady foundation that strengthens your resilience against life's challenges. This practice connects you with the richness of each moment, allowing you to move through life with a lighter heart. Another Stoic technique for strengthening the mind is practicing voluntary discomfort. By intentionally facing small challenges, like fasting for a short period or enduring a bit of physical strain, you build resilience and remind yourself of your own strength. This practice isn't about making life harder, but about expanding your capacity to handle discomfort gracefully. Each experience of voluntary discomfort reinforces the understanding that your happiness doesn't rely on constant comfort. You become less fearful of hardship and more adaptable to whatever life brings. The practice of keeping a daily reflection is a powerful Stoic tool for growth. At the end of each day, take a few moments to consider how you lived, what choices you made, and how you responded to challenges. This reflection isn't about criticism, but about honest self-assessment, allowing you to learn from each experience. Daily reflection helps you align with your values and strengthens your sense of purpose. Through this practice, you become more attuned to your own growth, building a relationship with yourself that is both compassionate and growth-oriented. By embracing these Stoic perspectives, you don't just understand the philosophy intellectually, you begin to live it. These practices shape a mind that is calm, resilient, and wise, a mind that finds strength in challenges and peace in uncertainty. Through these principles, you cultivate a sense of freedom that isn't affected by external circumstances, creating a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Having explored the profound strength that Stoic psychology offers, we now turn to an equally powerful topic: how to handle situations and people who fail to recognize your worth. This isn't about playing games or seeking revenge, but rather about holding yourself with such steady confidence and integrity that others realize they cannot take you for granted. When you embody self-respect and clarity, your actions speak volumes. You become someone who naturally commands respect, without force or manipulation. It can be a difficult experience when others fail to see your value, but Stoic principles offer an approach to handle these situations gracefully. By understanding how to act in ways that signal your worth, you create boundaries that are both subtle and powerful. These boundaries aren't meant to push people away. They're a reflection of the standards you uphold. When you consistently show others that you know your value, you invite respect and discourage behaviors that don't align with your principles. One way to convey self-respect is by maintaining calm when facing criticism. Stoicism teaches that remaining composed in the face of judgment reflects your inner strength. Those who don't value you often expect you to react impulsively, but when you respond with calm, it shows that your self-worth isn't easily swayed by opinions. This restraint not only keeps you grounded, but also signals that you're not seeking approval, which can be unsettling to those who thrive on control or manipulation. Another powerful action is to set clear boundaries without explaining them. People who don't value you may push against your limits, expecting you to justify your choices. Instead, when you set a boundary calmly and without over-explaining, you communicate that you stand by your decisions. This clarity signals that your boundaries are non-negotiable, rooted in self-respect rather than in the need for validation. Such confidence in setting boundaries often catches people off guard, as it requires them to either respect your stance or recognize that they cannot control it. Taking responsibility for your own happiness is another action that can deeply unsettle those who undervalue you. Instead of relying on others to provide validation or emotional support, Stoicism teaches you to cultivate inner contentment. By focusing on your own growth, interests, and well-being, you show that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else's approval or involvement. This self-reliance creates a strong foundation that deters those who might try to control or diminish you, as they realize they hold no power over your peace of mind. A less obvious but powerful action is to forgive without needing an apology. When people don't see your value, they may expect you to hold on to resentment or anger. But choosing to let go of grudges without seeking apologies demonstrates an advanced level of self-respect and inner peace. This kind of forgiveness isn't about excusing behavior, but about freeing yourself from emotional burdens. It conveys that you're not holding on to past offenses, nor are you allowing others' actions to dictate your emotional state. This approach can be disarming to those who don't value you, as it shows a level of independence and maturity they may not expect. Expressing gratitude, especially in the presence of those who don't value you, is another powerful act. Gratitude, in the Stoic sense, isn't just a response to kindness. It's a mindset that appreciates life itself. When you show gratitude for the good in your life, even in difficult situations, you demonstrate a resilience and positivity that others can't easily disrupt. This gratitude signals that your focus is on what you have, rather than what you lack, making it clear that external validation isn't a priority. Such gratitude can be unsettling to those who thrive on negativity or control, as it reveals your strength in finding joy within. Another action that firmly establishes your worth is to stay consistent with your principles, even when it's challenging. Those who don't value you may expect you to waver in your beliefs to please them or to avoid conflict. However, when you remain true to your values, even under pressure, it shows that your integrity is unshakable. This consistency builds respect and communicates that you're not easily influenced by others' opinions. Upholding your principles not only strengthens your own character, but also demonstrates that you value yourself enough to stand firm, regardless of external pressures. Choosing silence over defending yourself in moments of conflict can be a profound way to command respect. When others try to diminish your value, they often expect a defensive reaction. But responding with silence shows that you don't feel the need to justify yourself or seek approval. This kind of calm detachment can be deeply unsettling to those who want to provoke or control you, as it denies them the satisfaction of a reaction. Silence, in this sense, becomes a powerful statement of self-assurance, a quiet yet undeniable way of saying that your worth doesn't need validation. Another effective action is to keep your personal plans and successes private. People who don't value you may seek details about your life to gauge their influence or control. By keeping your goals and achievements private, you retain your autonomy and prevent others from feeling entitled to your journey. This privacy conveys that your growth is for you alone, not for anyone else's judgment or validation. By sharing only what you choose, you protect your path from unnecessary influence, maintaining a sense of control that others cannot easily penetrate. Refusing to engage in gossip or negative talk also demonstrates a high level of self-respect. Those who don't value you may attempt to draw you into conversations that lower your standards. By steering clear of gossip and focusing instead on constructive discussions, you elevate the tone of your interactions. This restraint signals that you're not interested in negativity and that you hold yourself to a standard of respect that doesn't rely on diminishing others. Such discipline in conversation can be unsettling to those who expect compliance, as it sets a clear boundary of positivity and integrity. Investing in your personal growth, regardless of others' opinions, is another action that conveys your self-worth. When you prioritize your own development, whether through learning, fitness, or pursuing your passions, you show that your worth isn't defined by external validation. This dedication to self-improvement is a reminder that your value is inherent and doesn't fluctuate based on others' recognition. It reflects a kind of independence that is both powerful and inspiring, sending a clear message that your growth isn't tied to anyone else's perception. Practicing kindness without expecting anything in return is an action that confounds those who don't know how to value you. Stoic kindness isn't about seeking approval, it's an expression of genuine goodwill. When you act with kindness, even toward those who may not appreciate it, you show that your behavior reflects your own character, not others' responses. This generosity of spirit is a testament to your inner strength, as it demonstrates that your self-worth isn't contingent on how others treat you. It creates a quiet power that others may find difficult to understand, as it reveals a depth of resilience and compassion that doesn't need validation. By embodying these actions, you create an aura of respect that naturally establishes boundaries and commands acknowledgement. Each of these practices reinforces your self-worth, not by demanding respect, but by living in a way that reflects your true value. This approach is both subtle and profound, transforming how others see you without needing words or demands. These actions make it clear that you understand your worth deeply and that you're unwilling to compromise it for anyone who fails to see it. Having established a foundation of inner worth and self-respect through actions that convey your value, the next step is handling situations where someone you care for may seem distant or inattentive. This can be a challenging experience, often stirring feelings of doubt or insecurity. Yet, by applying Stoic principles, you can approach this situation in a way that reinforces your inner strength, maintains your peace, and even deepens your sense of self-respect. When someone is distant or seems to ignore you, the natural reaction might be to seek validation or become anxious. But Stoic wisdom encourages a different approach. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting your self-worth hinge on someone else's behavior, Stoicism invites you to shift the focus inward, nurturing the qualities that bring you strength and resilience. By doing so, you create a sense of calm that doesn't waver based on someone else's actions. One of the first steps in this situation is to take a moment of calm detachment. Rather than interpreting distance or silence as a judgment against you, pause and give space for reflection. In this pause, remind yourself that other people's actions are often influenced by factors beyond your control: stress, personal challenges, or even simple misunderstandings. By choosing detachment, you protect your peace of mind and avoid the mental spiral that can come from overthinking or assuming the worst. Redirecting your energy towards self-improvement is another powerful way to respond when someone is distant. Instead of spending energy wondering about their thoughts or feelings, channel it into your own growth. Focus on an area that you've been wanting to improve, whether it's learning a new skill, cultivating a hobby, or advancing in your career. By investing in yourself, you shift the emphasis from external validation to internal achievement, reinforcing the idea that your value isn't defined by someone else's attention, but by your own progress and growth. Practicing gratitude for what you already have can also be incredibly grounding in these moments. It's easy to fixate on what's missing or to seek fulfillment through external sources, but gratitude reminds you of the abundance already present in your life. Acknowledge the people who do support and appreciate you, the experiences that bring joy, and the small victories you've achieved. This gratitude not only redirects your focus, but also creates a sense of contentment that isn't dependent on any one person's actions or approval. Another approach is to communicate honestly and calmly, but only if it feels necessary and authentic. Stoicism values directness and clarity, but not impulsivity. If you feel that an open conversation could clear misunderstandings or help set healthy boundaries, approach it with calm confidence. Express your feelings without blame or accusation, focusing instead on how the situation affects you. This kind of honest communication, when approached with respect and poise, can foster mutual understanding without demanding anything from the other person. During times of distance, it's also valuable to nurture your own social circle. Often, when someone pulls away, there's a temptation to focus exclusively on that relationship. Instead, shift your attention to the other meaningful connections in your life. Spend time with friends and family who uplift and encourage you, as these connections provide support and remind you of your worth. By engaging with others, you reinforce a sense of community and belonging that doesn't rely on any single person's presence. Engaging in self-reflection can provide clarity and strengthen your resolve. Ask yourself if there are any underlying expectations or attachments that might be influencing your feelings. By examining your own emotions and motivations, you gain insight into any patterns of attachment that could be causing inner turmoil. Self-reflection allows you to address these patterns with compassion, transforming the experience from one of longing to one of self-awareness and personal growth. Practice patience without pressing for answers. Distance and silence can be uncomfortable, but they also create space for introspection and understanding. Instead of demanding immediate responses or seeking closure, embrace the uncertainty as part of life's natural ebb and flow. Patience teaches you to accept situations as they are without needing to control them, reinforcing your inner stability. This calm acceptance can often lead to a renewed sense of peace as you let go of the need to force resolutions or explanations. By focusing on these practices, you navigate the discomfort of distance with grace and strength. Each action reflects a commitment to your own well-being, demonstrating that your worth isn't defined by external approval, but by the calm confidence you cultivate within. This approach not only deepens your resilience, but also sends a clear message that your peace of mind remains steady, grounded in a sense of self that doesn't waver based on someone else's presence or absence. After embracing the calm resilience needed when faced with others' actions, the next step is to turn inward and master your mind, a skill that becomes invaluable for true inner peace. Emotions, while powerful and natural, can sometimes take control in ways that disrupt balance and clarity. Stoicism offers timeless lessons to help us manage these emotions, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with wisdom instead of reaction. This isn't about suppressing feelings or becoming detached from life. It's about cultivating a mind that remains clear and steady, no matter what arises. One of the first lessons in mastering the mind is to recognize that emotions are temporary. Feelings of anger, sadness, or frustration may seem overwhelming, but they are like passing clouds. They come and go, often quicker than we expect. By acknowledging their temporary nature, you give yourself the freedom to experience emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. This perspective creates space between you and your feelings, helping you see them as momentary experiences rather than defining aspects of your character. With this distance, you can handle emotions with calmness, understanding that they are part of life's rhythm but don't need to dictate your actions. Another essential Stoic practice is to pause before reacting. When faced with situations that provoke strong feelings, the Stoics encourage taking a moment of reflection before responding. This pause allows you to evaluate the situation without immediate emotional influence, giving you the clarity to choose a response that aligns with your values. By training yourself to pause, you gain control over impulsive reactions, which often lead to regret. This practice strengthens your ability to navigate challenges calmly, reminding you that even in intense moments, you have the power to choose how you respond. A valuable Stoic lesson is to focus on what's within your control. Often, emotional turbulence arises from things we cannot influence, others' actions, unforeseen events, or the opinions of those around us. The Stoics teach that true peace comes from focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, choices, and responses. By shifting your attention to your own actions, you free yourself from the anxiety of trying to control the uncontrollable. This focus empowers you to engage with life proactively, knowing that your energy is best spent on what you can directly shape, rather than on external factors beyond your reach. Detaching from outcomes is another powerful way to manage emotions. When we invest too heavily in specific outcomes, disappointment becomes inevitable. Stoicism encourages you to approach goals with commitment, but without attachment to the final result. This perspective helps you act with purpose and diligence, while accepting that some factors remain beyond your influence. Detachment from outcomes creates a sense of inner freedom, as your satisfaction comes from the effort and intention behind your actions rather than external results. This way, you become resilient in the face of both success and failure, as neither outcome defines your peace of mind. Another key lesson is to redefine your perspective on discomfort. Emotions like fear, frustration, and sadness are often reactions to uncomfortable situations. But Stoicism teaches that discomfort is a natural part of growth and resilience. By welcoming discomfort as a chance to strengthen yourself, you build a mindset that doesn't seek constant comfort, but embraces life's challenges as opportunities for self-mastery. This shift in perspective changes how you relate to emotions, as you no longer avoid discomfort, but use it as a stepping stone toward a stronger mind. Instead of fearing emotional reactions, you learn to approach them as teachers, each one offering insights into your character and resilience. Practicing gratitude in moments of emotional challenge is a subtle but powerful Stoic technique. When emotions feel intense, shifting your focus to gratitude brings a sense of grounding. This gratitude isn't about denying difficulties. It's about recognizing the value of each experience, even the hard ones. By appreciating the small things, supportive relationships, personal strengths, or simple pleasures, you create a buffer against overwhelming emotions. This gratitude builds a sense of abundance and stability, reminding you that, even in challenging moments, there are aspects of life worth cherishing. Gratitude in this way becomes an anchor that keeps you steady amid emotional waves. Stoicism also encourages cultivating an awareness of your thoughts. Often, emotions are fueled by patterns of thinking that go unchecked, assumptions, judgments, or fears. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you gain insight into these patterns, allowing you to understand the roots of your emotional reactions. This awareness helps you to identify thought patterns that may not serve you, giving you the freedom to replace them with more constructive perspectives. With practice, this self-awareness becomes a tool for emotional stability, helping you approach each experience with a clear mind and a calm heart. The practice of accepting reality as it is serves as a powerful way to prevent emotional upheaval. Stoicism teaches that resistance to reality often fuels negative emotions. By accepting things as they are, without wishing they were different, you free yourself from frustration and disappointment. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means acknowledging the truth of the present moment and responding to it constructively. This perspective shifts your focus from wishing things were different to engaging with life as it unfolds, creating a steady state of mind that's grounded in reality rather than ideals. These Stoic practices collectively build a mind that's less prone to emotional extremes, a mind that remains centered and resilient. By mastering these principles, you develop a kind of emotional freedom that isn't about denying feelings, but understanding and managing them with wisdom. Through each lesson, you come closer to a state of inner peace that's resilient, adaptable, and deeply fulfilling, a state where you navigate life's ups and downs with poise and purpose. Having established a resilient mind capable of navigating emotions with clarity, the next step in Stoicism is building habits that keep your energy steady and your strength unwavering. These habits aren't just about physical endurance or stamina, they are rooted in mental discipline and emotional stability. Each habit serves as a pillar, ensuring that no matter the pressures or distractions around you, you maintain a clear, steady presence that doesn't waver with the shifting tides of life. One of the foundational Stoic habits to cultivate is starting each day with a moment of quiet reflection. By dedicating even a few minutes in the morning to reflection, you anchor yourself in calmness and purpose before engaging with the day's demands. This habit allows you to enter each day not with a scattered mind, but with a clear focus on what matters. During this time, consider the goals or virtues you want to embody, preparing yourself to handle challenges with poise. This daily reflection strengthens your inner resolve and centers you, making it easier to navigate the day without your energy being drained by distractions or unplanned events. Setting intentional boundaries is another essential habit for preserving your strength. Energy is often lost when we take on too many commitments, overextend ourselves, or fail to protect our time. By consciously setting boundaries, you establish clear limits on what you give your energy to, safeguarding it for what truly matters. This habit isn't about isolation, but about knowing where to invest yourself fully and where to refrain. Intentional boundaries create a balanced flow of energy, allowing you to engage deeply with your priorities without feeling overwhelmed. By consistently protecting your time and focus, you maintain your strength, keeping yourself grounded in what brings you growth and fulfillment. Practicing moderation in all things is another Stoic habit that supports enduring strength. Excess, whether in work, pleasure, or even exercise, can lead to burnout and instability. By embracing moderation, you create a steady rhythm that conserves your energy over the long term. This practice teaches you to appreciate balance, preventing the extremes that often lead to fatigue or diminished focus. Through moderation, you gain a sense of control over your impulses, allowing you to save a life without draining your resources. This balance brings a sustained strength, helping you move through each day with consistent energy that doesn't waver with temporary highs or lows. Mindful breathing is a subtle yet transformative habit in Stoicism, one that enhances your mental and physical resilience. Throughout the day, pausing to take deep, controlled breaths serves as a reset, grounding you in the present moment. This mindful breathing not only calms the mind, but also energizes the body, helping you to release tension or stress that might accumulate. Each breath becomes a reminder of the control you hold over your inner state, allowing you to face situations with a centered mind. This simple habit prevents energy loss caused by stress or worry, ensuring that your strength remains stable even during high-pressure moments. Another habit that prevents energy from weakening is the daily practice of gratitude. Gratitude keeps you connected to the positive aspects of your life, shifting your focus away from what drains or frustrates you. When you acknowledge even the smallest blessings, you reinforce a mindset of abundance and contentment. This habit is more than a mere exercise. It recharges your emotional energy, giving you a sense of fulfillment that guards against exhaustion. By focusing on what brings joy and meaning, gratitude fills you with a strength that isn't easily swayed by external pressures. Each moment of gratitude becomes a source of inner nourishment, keeping your energy intact and your spirit uplifted. Embracing simplicity in your daily routine is another Stoic habit that preserves energy and enhances strength. Complexity often leads to unnecessary stress, as a cluttered schedule or environment can drain mental clarity and focus. By simplifying your approach, whether through decluttering, prioritizing tasks, or minimizing distractions, you free up space in both your mind and surroundings. This simplicity allows you to approach each day with a clear and steady focus, preserving your energy for what truly matters. Embracing simplicity means removing anything that doesn't serve your growth or peace, creating a life that supports strength, resilience, and purpose. Committing to self-discipline is a habit that forms the backbone of sustained strength. Discipline, in the Stoic sense, isn't about restriction, but about aligning your actions with your goals. By practicing self-discipline, you create a consistent approach to life that doesn't rely on fleeting motivation. This habit empowers you to pursue your intentions steadily, even when challenges arise. Each act of discipline strengthens your inner resolve, building a foundation that's unshaken by setbacks. Self-discipline ensures that your energy is directed purposefully, preventing the kind of scattered efforts that lead to fatigue or frustration. Through discipline, you gain mastery over your actions, reinforcing a steady strength that endures. By integrating these Stoic habits into daily life, you build a reserve of strength that supports you in both calm and challenging times. These practices cultivate a stability that isn't easily disrupted, allowing you to engage fully with life without feeling drained. Each habit serves as a reminder of the power you hold over your own well-being, creating a life that is both energized and deeply resilient. Through these habits, you cultivate a kind of strength that remains, no matter the circumstances, empowering you to live with clarity, purpose, and unwavering energy. As we build habits that sustain our inner strength and preserve our energy, there's an often overlooked practice in Stoicism that brings a powerful, renewing peace: solitude. Purposeful isolation, when approached with intention, becomes more than just a break from the world. It is a profound opportunity to reconnect with oneself and deepen resilience. Solitude isn't about escaping or rejecting others, but rather about finding the strength within that is less accessible amidst constant noise and interaction. By rediscovering solitude, you open a doorway to greater self-understanding, inner clarity, and emotional balance. In solitude, you can hear the quieter truths of your inner self, the reflections and insights often drowned out by the demands of daily life. Embracing time alone allows you to reconnect with these subtler parts of yourself, to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and intentions without outside influence. This self-reflection strengthens your sense of purpose, reminding you of your values and the principles that guide you. With each moment in solitude, you cultivate a more profound understanding of your true self, building a steady foundation that doesn't depend on external validation. One of the gifts of solitude is the clarity it brings. In purposeful isolation, you can observe your thoughts, separate from others' opinions or expectations. This clarity allows you to see which desires are genuinely yours and which have been adopted from outside sources. The Stoics valued this kind of discernment, as it enables you to pursue a life aligned with your own values, not dictated by societal pressures. Through solitude, you learn to distinguish what truly matters to you, shedding unnecessary distractions and focusing your energy on what brings lasting fulfillment. Solitude also serves as a space to recharge. In a world filled with constant connection and stimulation, stepping back provides an essential break. This time alone helps restore mental and emotional energy, allowing you to approach life with renewed focus and strength. Unlike social interactions, which require energy and engagement, solitude gives you the freedom to be without demands. This pause is essential for maintaining balance and preventing burnout, as it restores your natural rhythm and brings a calm that strengthens you from within. Another important aspect of solitude is the opportunity to cultivate inner peace. Often, we look to others for reassurance or support, but solitude teaches you to find calm within yourself. This peace doesn't come from a perfect environment, but from an acceptance of your own company. When you can sit with yourself in quiet and feel a sense of contentment, you gain a self-sufficiency that is rare and powerful. This peace forms a kind of emotional independence, a strength that doesn't rely on constant validation or companionship. Through solitude, you come to realize that you are enough on your own. Solitude also fosters creativity and insight. When your mind is free from external input, it has the space to wander, to explore new ideas and perspectives without interruption. Many of history's greatest thinkers found their insights in moments of quiet reflection. In solitude, you allow yourself to think deeply, to question, and to imagine without limits. This creative freedom isn't confined to artists or writers. It's available to anyone willing to step away from distractions and engage with their own thoughts. The insights gained in these moments can lead to breakthroughs in understanding, not just of the world, but of yourself. In purposeful isolation, you also strengthen your resilience. Spending time alone requires confronting your thoughts, emotions, and even fears without distraction. This practice builds a mental toughness, teaching you to face challenges from within without immediately seeking external comfort or escape. The Stoics believed that true resilience comes from within, and solitude offers the chance to develop this resilience. Each moment you spend in quiet reflection, without reaching for distractions, you strengthen your ability to handle life's difficulties with calm and confidence. Another benefit of solitude is the cultivation of patience. In a fast-paced world, solitude teaches you to slow down, to engage with time in a more mindful way. This slower rhythm brings a sense of patience that permeates other areas of life, allowing you to approach tasks and relationships with calmness rather than urgency. Through solitude, you learn to be patient with yourself and with life's natural pace. This patience is a valuable asset, as it reduces stress and anxiety, helping you approach each experience with a sense of calm readiness. Solitude helps you nurture self-trust. When you spend time alone, you become your own confidant, learning to rely on your own judgment and intuition. This self-reliance is not about isolating yourself from others, but about developing an inner compass that guides you independently of external opinions. By learning to trust yourself, you build a foundation of confidence that doesn't require validation. This trust is empowering, as it allows you to make decisions with clarity, knowing that you are guided by a deeper understanding of your own values and wisdom. Through these practices, solitude becomes a source of profound strength, a place where you reconnect with your essence and deepen your resilience. Each moment spent in quiet reflection reinforces the understanding that, within yourself, you have everything you need to face life's challenges with grace and confidence. Rediscovering solitude isn't about escaping the world, but about returning to it with a renewed sense of purpose, clarity, and peace. In this purposeful isolation, you find a strength that no external circumstance can shake, a steady calm that becomes the foundation of a fulfilled and resilient life. As solitude reveals its power in grounding us, the next step is to explore intentional stillness, a deeper level of quiet that doesn't just offer peace, but transforms inner turmoil into clarity. This practice of stillness is more than just silence. It's about cultivating an inner calm that transcends external circumstances. For the Stoics, stillness wasn't merely a pause. It was an active engagement with presence, a deliberate choice to cultivate calm, awareness, and resilience. Through stillness, you find a space where clarity and peace naturally arise, allowing you to handle life's challenges without being overtaken by chaos. Intentional stillness begins with focusing on the present moment. Instead of getting lost in past regrets or future anxieties, stillness anchors you in what's happening now. By directing attention to this single point in time, you allow worries and distractions to fall away. In this calm state, your mind becomes a steady observer, seeing clearly rather than reacting impulsively. This focus brings an awareness that helps you navigate life's stresses, enabling you to respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. By practicing this kind of presence, you become adept at maintaining your calm in any situation, grounding yourself in the here and now. Another key to intentional stillness is learning to observe thoughts without attachment. The Stoics understood that inner peace is often disrupted by racing thoughts or fears that pull us in multiple directions. In stillness, you create a mental distance from these thoughts, seeing them for what they are, passing occurrences rather than fixed truths. By observing thoughts without reacting, you gain control over your inner state, preventing emotions from dictating your actions. This detachment empowers you to choose which thoughts deserve attention and which can be gently released, fostering a mental clarity that remains steady even when life becomes challenging. Practicing deep breathing is another powerful tool in achieving intentional stillness. Breath is closely tied to emotional states. Shallow, quick breaths can increase anxiety, while slow, deep breaths encourage relaxation. By focusing on your breath, you bring calm into your body, allowing your mind to follow. Each breath becomes an anchor, drawing you back into a place of stillness where inner turmoil loses its power. Deep breathing isn't just a technique, it's a form of self-care, a reminder that you can find peace within yourself, regardless of external pressures. This practice calms both the mind and body, enhancing your ability to approach life with a balanced and resilient spirit. Another essential aspect of intentional stillness is letting go of control. Much of life's stress comes from trying to influence outcomes or shape events that are beyond your reach. The Stoics believed in accepting what is, focusing only on what lies within our control. By releasing the need to control everything, you free yourself from the burden of constant worry and fear. In this release, you find a tranquility that allows you to embrace the moment as it is, without resistance. Letting go doesn't mean apathy. It means engaging fully with what you can influence while remaining at peace with what you cannot. This acceptance fosters a deep inner calm as you learn to meet each experience without struggling against it. Intentional stillness also involves creating a mental environment free from judgment. Often, we judge ourselves harshly, holding on to guilt or self-criticism that disrupts our peace. The Stoics encourage approaching oneself with the same compassion we would offer to a friend. In stillness, you let go of judgment, accepting your thoughts, actions, and experiences without self-reproach. This non-judgmental mindset allows you to face yourself honestly, creating a safe space within where growth and peace can flourish. By accepting yourself as you are, you transform inner turmoil into a kind of gentle strength, one that isn't burdened by harsh self-evaluation, but enriched by self-compassion. An important part of stillness is cultivating gratitude for the quiet moments. In a world that values constant activity, embracing stillness can feel counterintuitive. However, by finding gratitude in these calm pauses, you open yourself to a different kind of fulfillment. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, helping you see the beauty in simplicity. This appreciation for stillness deepens your relationship with peace, making it easier to access in times of stress. Through gratitude, you turn stillness into a sanctuary, a place where you can always find contentment regardless of the external chaos. Practicing mindful listening is another way to deepen intentional stillness. When we listen mindfully, whether to our own thoughts, the world around us, or others, we practice patience and presence. This listening isn't about analyzing or reacting, it's about receiving without interference. By listening with full attention, you slow down and engage fully with each experience, enriching your connection with the present moment. This kind of listening allows you to quiet inner distractions, fostering a calm that's not easily disrupted. As you become more skilled in mindful listening, you'll find that stillness becomes a natural state, a quiet awareness that accompanies you in all interactions. In stillness, you also learn the value of patience. In a culture that often rushes toward the next thing, stillness teaches you to honor life's natural pace. By slowing down, you allow yourself to engage with each experience without rushing to the next. This patience creates a sense of spaciousness in your life, helping you handle challenges with calm assurance rather than hurried anxiety. With each patient moment, you reinforce the understanding that there is no need to rush. Everything unfolds in its own time. This slow, deliberate approach builds resilience, a reminder that true strength often lies in quiet patience rather than in hurried action. The art of stillness includes embracing silence as a source of wisdom. In silence, you access a depth of insight that isn't always available in the noise of daily life. This silence isn't an absence, but a fullness, a space where clarity and wisdom emerge naturally. By sitting in silence, you gain access to thoughts and insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. This practice nurtures a calm, wise presence that enriches your interactions and decisions. Silence becomes a teacher, revealing truths that go beyond words, guiding you with a steady calm that strengthens your resilience. Through intentional stillness, you cultivate a state of mind that transforms chaos into clarity, anxiety into calm, and uncertainty into peace. These practices create a foundation of quiet strength, a steady calm that remains with you in all circumstances. Intentional stillness becomes more than a momentary break. It is a lasting refuge, a source of inner resilience that empowers you to face life with poise and clarity. In mastering the art of stillness, you find a way of being that's deeply anchored, allowing you to move through life with a peace that nothing can disturb. With the calm and resilience gained through intentional stillness, there's a powerful Stoic technique that takes emotional preparedness even further, preempting disappointment. This technique, often overlooked, is about preparing the mind for life's inevitable twists and setbacks. Stoicism teaches that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can prepare ourselves mentally to face the unexpected with grace and stability. This isn't about pessimism or expecting the worst. Rather, it's about equipping the mind to remain steady when things don't go as planned. Preempting disappointment is a path to emotional strength, a way to stay grounded regardless of what comes your way. The practice begins with visualizing possible outcomes, both positive and negative, without attaching yourself to any one result. This type of mental rehearsal lets you face the reality that outcomes aren't guaranteed, that life can be unpredictable. By contemplating different scenarios, you give yourself the freedom to embrace each possibility without fear. When you practice this visualization, you're not expecting failure, but acknowledging its potential, which helps you build resilience. This openness to any outcome reduces the power that disappointment can hold over you, replacing it with a calm readiness to handle life as it unfolds. Another part of preempting disappointment is learning to separate your self-worth from external outcomes. When your sense of self is linked to specific results or successes, Any setback feels like a personal failure. By practicing detachment from outcomes, you cultivate a self-worth that's steady and independent. This detachment isn't apathy. It's a conscious choice to value yourself for your character, actions and intentions rather than external validation. When you let go of needing everything to go your way, you become less vulnerable to disappointment. This emotional independence allows you to approach life with confidence, knowing that setbacks don't define you. Focusing on effort over results is also essential in preempting disappointment. The Stoics believed that while we can control our efforts, we can't always control the final outcome. By placing value on the effort you put in rather than on the result, you shift your mindset to one of growth and progress. This focus allows you to find fulfillment in the process, lessening the sting of unmet expectations. When you prioritize effort, you create a sense of accomplishment that can't be taken away by external factors. This approach fosters resilience as it reinforces the idea that you are capable and committed regardless of the outcome. Cultivating a mindset of acceptance plays a crucial role in managing disappointment. Life will bring both successes and setbacks. By accepting this reality, you create an inner peace that isn't shaken by unexpected events. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It's a commitment to engaging fully with each moment without resisting what is. This mindset allows you to approach each experience with openness, as you're no longer fighting against life's natural ebb and flow. In acceptance, you find a profound calm, a reminder that even in disappointment, there is value and growth. Practicing gratitude alongside this technique adds another layer of emotional preparedness. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, reminding you of life's abundance. By appreciating what you have, even in moments of loss or setback, you create a balance that counters disappointment. This practice of gratitude doesn't ignore difficulties, but places them within a larger context of life's blessings. Gratitude strengthens your resilience by grounding you in appreciation, reminding you that no single outcome defines your worth or happiness. This balance is a shield against disappointment, as it allows you to see each experience through a lens of appreciation. Another essential part of preempting disappointment is to manage expectations realistically. Often, disappointment stems from unrealistic standards or assumptions about how things should unfold. By setting grounded, flexible expectations, you reduce the likelihood of feeling let down. This doesn't mean lowering standards, but adjusting them to reflect life's unpredictability. By embracing realistic expectations, you allow yourself to engage with life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. This openness reduces the gap between expectation and reality, minimizing the potential for disappointment and increasing your adaptability. Developing a habit of self-reflection is also invaluable in preparing for disappointment. When you reflect on past experiences, you gain insight into patterns, both in yourself and in how you react to life's ups and downs. Self-reflection helps you understand your triggers, fears, and expectations, allowing you to prepare for future challenges with greater awareness. This insight enables you to approach each situation with a clear understanding of what might arise emotionally, giving you the tools to manage disappointment effectively. Self-reflection builds a kind of mental preparedness that strengthens you, helping you to navigate life's surprises with calm assurance. Finding value in each experience, regardless of the outcome, is the core of preempting disappointment. Stoicism teaches that every experience has something to teach, a way to enrich your character and understanding. By focusing on the lessons within each situation, you shift your mindset from loss to growth. This perspective allows you to find meaning even in setbacks, transforming disappointment into an opportunity for insight. When you can approach each experience with this mindset, disappointment loses its hold, as every outcome becomes a step on the path to greater resilience and wisdom. Through these practices, you build a state of emotional preparedness that doesn't deny life's challenges, but equips you to meet them with strength and clarity. Preempting disappointment becomes a tool for personal growth, a way to strengthen your mind and heart against life's unpredictable nature. With this approach, you cultivate a resilience that's unshaken by setbacks, a confidence that doesn't rely on any single outcome. In embracing this Stoic technique, you gain the freedom to face each moment with calm, knowing that you have the strength to handle whatever comes and the wisdom to see every experience as part of a meaningful journey. Building a steady resilience to handle life's surprises, especially through preemptive emotional preparedness, is powerful. But true, lasting strength also grows through the small, consistent actions we take each day. In Stoicism, these small daily rituals, or micro-habits, become more than simple routines. They are steady fortresses of inner strength, each one reinforcing calm, resilience, and purpose. These rituals aren't about grand gestures or immediate transformations. They're about finding strength in the smallest actions that, repeated over time, shape a resilient, focused mind. One foundational micro-habit is starting each day with intention. Even a few moments spent reflecting on what matters can set a powerful tone for the hours ahead. This habit isn't about crafting an extensive plan, it's about grounding yourself in purpose. By asking simple questions, what do I want to achieve? How do I wish to respond to challenges? You prepare your mind to approach the day with clarity and commitment. This ritual strengthens your resolve, helping you meet each moment with a calm that isn't easily disrupted by outside events. Another valuable micro-habit is practicing mindful pauses throughout the day. These are brief moments where you let go of the day's pace, breathe deeply, and reconnect with the present. These pauses aren't about escaping responsibilities, but about gathering focus and composure. Each pause acts as a reset, bringing a centered awareness that carries you calmly into the next task. The act of stopping, even for a few seconds, reinforces a mental habit of clarity over rush. With each pause, you cultivate a calm resilience that grows stronger over time, helping you manage stress without becoming overwhelmed. Reflecting on gratitude, even briefly, is another powerful Stoic habit that nurtures inner strength. By taking a moment to acknowledge the positive aspects of your life, you shift your mind from what's lacking to what's abundant. This shift isn't about ignoring challenges, but about balancing them with an appreciation for the present. Gratitude builds a mindset that finds value in small blessings, reinforcing a steady contentment that isn't shaken by setbacks. When practiced consistently, this habit becomes a source of quiet resilience, reminding you of life's richness and keeping you grounded in what truly matters. One of the most strengthening micro-habits is dedicating time each day to self-reflection. This isn't about dwelling on the past, but about considering how you showed up in each moment. Through honest reflection, you gain insights into your actions, strengths, and areas for growth. This practice strengthens self-awareness, helping you approach each day with a clearer understanding of what aligns with your values. With each moment of self-reflection, you build a foundation of self-knowledge that guides your choices, enabling you to move forward with purpose and resilience. Engaging in brief physical activity is another micro-habit that enhances both physical and mental strength. Stoicism values the connection between mind and body, and even small movements, stretching, walking, or simple exercises, invigorate the body and clear the mind. Physical movement shifts your energy, relieving tension and refreshing your focus. These small, intentional movements remind you of your physical presence, reinforcing a kind of embodied resilience that grounds you in the moment. Each bit of movement strengthens not only your body, but your mental endurance, reminding you of your capacity to act with strength and vitality. Practicing restraint in one small area each day is a micro-habit that builds self-discipline. This could be as simple as refraining from unnecessary screen time or making a mindful choice about what you consume. Practicing restraint strengthens your will, helping you focus on long-term benefits over immediate gratification. This habit reinforces self-control, reminding you of the strength that comes from making conscious choices. Each act of restraint becomes a small victory, building a habit of discipline that strengthens your character over time, fortifying you with a calm confidence in your ability to guide your actions. Incorporating a small act of kindness daily is another micro-habit that enriches your life and strengthens your relationships. Kindness isn't only about benefiting others, it creates a sense of warmth and connection that nurtures inner peace. Whether it's a kind word, a thoughtful message, or a simple gesture, each act of kindness reinforces a spirit of compassion and understanding. By consistently engaging in kindness, you cultivate a mindset of empathy that strengthens your relationships and your sense of purpose. This habit reminds you of the strength that comes from connecting with others and enriches your life with moments of shared goodwill. Setting aside time each day to learn something new is a Stoic micro-habit that fosters mental growth and adaptability. This doesn't require hours of study. Even a few minutes spent reading, reflecting, or exploring an idea strengthens your mind. Learning keeps your mind open and curious, reminding you that growth is a lifelong process. This habit builds a resilience to change as you become accustomed to engaging with new ideas and perspectives. The consistent pursuit of knowledge reinforces a mental strength that thrives on curiosity, helping you adapt to challenges with a mindset ready for growth. Practicing forgiveness in small ways is another powerful micro-habit for inner peace. Throughout the day, small frustrations or disappointments arise, and by choosing to let go of minor resentments, you prevent negativity from accumulating. Forgiveness doesn't excuse harmful actions, but it frees you from holding on to anger or grudges. Each moment of forgiveness is an act of release, allowing you to return to a state of calm. This practice strengthens your resilience, reminding you that peace of mind often comes from what you let go of, rather than what you hold on to. Each of these daily rituals is small, but together they create a powerful foundation of strength and resilience. By committing to these micro-habits, you build a steady inner fortress that sustains you through life's demands and challenges. These rituals aren't about grand achievements. They're about creating a life rooted in calm, purpose, and quiet strength, each small act reinforcing your resilience and enriching your sense of fulfillment. Through these habits, you embody Stoic wisdom in the smallest moments, turning each day into an opportunity for growth, peace, and enduring strength. After cultivating daily micro-habits that strengthen resilience and inner peace, we turn to a powerful but less visible form of growth, one that takes place in silence and solitude. This kind of growth isn't about outward accomplishments or recognition. It's about the quiet, profound changes that transform character from the inside. The Stoic way of invisible growth is a path of resilience, a practice of strengthening the inner self through intentional reflection and solitude. This growth is unseen, yet it shapes a kind of strength that becomes unshakable, an enduring calm that allows you to face life's challenges with quiet confidence. Invisible growth begins with embracing solitude as a space for self-reflection and understanding. In solitude, without the distractions of daily interactions, you can truly examine your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This process of reflection helps you gain a clearer understanding of what drives you, what fears or desires shape your decisions, and how you can align more closely with your values. This quiet examination isn't always easy, as it requires facing aspects of yourself that might be uncomfortable. But each moment spent in honest reflection strengthens self-awareness, allowing you to grow in ways that are deep and lasting. Through solitude, you cultivate a self-knowledge that guides you with clarity, unbothered by the noise of outside influences. Another aspect of invisible growth is learning to let go of external validation. In a world that often values appearance over substance, Stoicism encourages developing a sense of worth that doesn't rely on others' opinions. By focusing on internal growth rather than external approval, you build a foundation of resilience that isn't shaken by criticism or praise. This process requires self-discipline, a steady practice of valuing your own path over public recognition. Each step away from the need for validation strengthens your inner resolve, reminding you that true worth comes from integrity and authenticity. This self-reliance becomes a source of quiet strength, an assurance that doesn't require confirmation from the outside world. Practicing patience is another essential element in building resilience through invisible growth. Growth, especially the kind that happens internally, is a slow process. Instead of seeking immediate results or recognition, Stoicism teaches the value of waiting and trusting the gradual progress. Each step forward, however small, is a meaningful contribution to your resilience. This patience builds an inner calm, a reminder that growth is a journey rather than a destination. By embracing this pace, you free yourself from the pressure to prove your worth, finding strength in the quiet persistence that characterizes invisible growth. With each patient moment, you learn that true resilience grows in silence, nurtured by steady commitment rather than by quick achievements. Developing inner strength through solitude also involves cultivating the ability to withstand discomfort. Growth doesn't always come from comfort. Often, it's the challenges and discomforts that shape resilience. In solitude, you confront your own thoughts, fears, and vulnerabilities without distraction, which can be uncomfortable but deeply enlightening. This willingness to face discomfort head-on strengthens your mental and emotional endurance, teaching you to hold steady in the face of difficulty. The Stoic approach to discomfort isn't about seeking pain, but about accepting the growth that comes from it. Each moment of discomfort becomes a lesson in resilience, building an inner fortitude that allows you to navigate life's hardships with composure. Silence, too, plays a critical role in this process of invisible growth. In silence, without the need to react or respond, you can observe your mind with clarity. Silence creates space for insight, allowing you to listen to the quieter parts of yourself that are often overlooked. This kind of listening isn't passive, it's an active engagement with your inner world, a space where wisdom and understanding can flourish. In silence, you learn to trust your own thoughts and insights, strengthening a kind of inner dialogue that supports resilience. This silent awareness builds a steady foundation, enabling you to act with purpose rather than react to outside noise. Silence becomes a source of clarity, a wellspring of calm that guides you with quiet strength. Invisible growth also requires letting go of attachment to outcomes. Stoicism teaches that while we can control our actions, we can't always control the results. By focusing on the effort and releasing attachment to specific outcomes, you create a resilience that doesn't waver with each success or failure. This detachment from results allows you to engage fully with each moment, knowing that growth comes from the journey rather than the destination. Each step taken with this mindset builds a sense of fulfillment that isn't dependent on external achievements. By letting go of outcome attachment, you cultivate an inner strength that remains steady no matter the circumstances. Another key to building resilience through invisible growth is nurturing humility. Growth, particularly the kind that occurs within, often requires acknowledging what you don't know and where there's room for improvement. Humility opens you to continuous learning, allowing you to approach each experience with openness and curiosity. This humility is a strength, as it prevents you from becoming rigid or defensive, making it easier to adapt and grow. By embracing humility, you cultivate a mindset that sees every experience as an opportunity for learning, which strengthens your resilience in facing both successes and setbacks. Each humble moment is a step toward invisible growth, a reminder that true strength lies in the ability to remain open and adaptable. Practicing forgiveness in solitude is also a powerful aspect of invisible growth. By choosing to forgive yourself for past mistakes and let go of grudges, you release emotional burdens that hinder growth. This forgiveness isn't about excusing wrongdoing, but about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. In solitude, you can confront these feelings with honesty, allowing you to let go and move forward with a lighter heart. Forgiveness fosters inner peace, creating space for resilience to take root. With each act of forgiveness, you strengthen your capacity to approach life with compassion, a resilience that remains unbroken by past wounds. Invisible growth involves nurturing a sense of purpose. In the quiet of solitude, without the distractions of external demands, you can reflect on what gives meaning to your life. Purpose isn't always a grand mission. Sometimes it's found in the small, consistent ways you live each day. By focusing on purpose, you align your actions with what truly matters, creating a strength that goes beyond the surface. This sense of purpose fuels resilience, as it reminds you that each moment, each choice, contributes to a greater whole. With purpose, you find a calm determination, a kind of invisible strength that supports you through every challenge and change. Through these practices, you engage in a process of invisible growth that quietly transforms you. This isn't growth that seeks recognition or approval. It's a resilience built in silence, nurtured by self-reflection, patience, and inner resolve. Each step along this path strengthens a quiet but enduring calm, an assurance that you have the strength to meet life with grace and fortitude. In embracing the Stoic way of invisible growth, you create a foundation of resilience that stands firm in both solitude and society, a steady strength that guides you with purpose and peace. With the foundation of inner strength formed through quiet, invisible growth, Stoicism offers another profound approach to life's complexities: the art of mastering ambiguity. Life is often filled with unknowns, unexpected shifts, and uncertainties that challenge our sense of control. Yet, Stoicism provides tools for finding steadiness even in times of ambiguity. It's not about forcing clarity where there is none. Rather, it's about developing a resilient mindset that remains calm and centered, even when the path forward is unclear. In learning to embrace ambiguity, you cultivate a form of certainty that resides within, a grounded confidence that isn't shaken by the unknown. One of the first steps in mastering ambiguity is to practice acceptance of what you cannot control. When faced with uncertain situations, the Stoic approach is to focus on your internal response rather than on external events. By accepting that some aspects of life remain unpredictable, you create space for resilience to flourish. This acceptance is not passive. It's an active choice to release the desire to control every outcome. Through this practice, you shift your focus to what you can influence: your thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Each moment of acceptance reinforces a calm strength, reminding you that while you can't control everything, you can control how you engage with the unknown. Another Stoic approach to ambiguity is to cultivate patience. Uncertainty often creates a desire for immediate answers or solutions, but Stoicism teaches the value of waiting and allowing clarity to unfold naturally. By practicing patience, you resist the urge to rush toward conclusions, embracing instead the process of gradual understanding. This patience builds a steady resilience, helping you to navigate the unknown without feeling pressured to find quick fixes. In each patient moment, you deepen your ability to withstand ambiguity with calm, knowing that true clarity often comes with time. Focusing on the present moment is also essential in mastering ambiguity. The unknown can pull your thoughts toward what might happen, leading to anxiety or fear. By grounding yourself in the present, you shift attention away from future uncertainties and onto what is within reach right now. This focus allows you to engage fully with what's in front of you, strengthening your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react out of fear. Each moment spent in the present builds a foundation of calm, a reminder that while the future may be uncertain, the present offers a steady anchor. Stoicism also encourages finding certainty in your principles and values, even when external situations remain unclear. When you know what you stand for, honesty, kindness, integrity, these become your guiding lights in times of ambiguity. While events may be unpredictable, your values provide a consistent foundation. This alignment with your principles allows you to make decisions confidently, regardless of the unknowns surrounding you. By grounding yourself in these values, you create a form of certainty that is internal, one that doesn't rely on circumstances. This consistency strengthens your resolve, allowing you to move through ambiguity with a steady purpose. Another key to mastering ambiguity is practicing adaptability. Life's uncertainties often require flexibility, an ability to adjust without losing your center. The Stoics saw adaptability as a strength, a skill that allows you to engage with change without resistance. By remaining open to different outcomes, you build resilience to life's unpredictability, responding to challenges with a creative, flexible mindset. Adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your goals. It means finding new ways to pursue them as situations shift. Each moment of adaptability builds a strength that thrives in the face of ambiguity, reinforcing a calm confidence that isn't easily shaken by change. Viewing ambiguity as an opportunity for growth is another powerful Stoic perspective. Rather than seeing the unknown as a threat, you can see it as a space for learning and development. Ambiguity often pushes you to explore new ideas, to question old assumptions, and to expand your understanding. By approaching the unknown with curiosity, you transform it from a source of anxiety to a catalyst for growth. This shift in perspective builds resilience, as you learn to see challenges as valuable lessons rather than as obstacles. Each experience in ambiguity, when met with an open mind, strengthens your capacity to find certainty within yourself, even when external answers are unclear. Practicing self-reliance is also essential in mastering ambiguity. When faced with the unknown, it's easy to look outward for answers or reassurance, but Stoicism teaches the importance of relying on your inner strength. By cultivating trust in your own judgment and resilience, you build a certainty that doesn't depend on external validation. This self-reliance empowers you to navigate ambiguity with confidence, knowing that you have the resources within to face any situation. Each moment of self-trust reinforces your inner strength, creating a solid foundation that remains steady even in uncertain times. Another Stoic approach to ambiguity is to limit overthinking and speculation. Often, the mind tries to fill gaps in knowledge with assumptions or worst-case scenarios, which only intensifies anxiety. By training yourself to stay grounded in what is known, You reduce the mental strain of speculating about unknowns. This focus on reality over assumption creates a calm mental environment where you can respond to ambiguity without unnecessary stress. Each moment of clarity, grounded in the present and free from speculation, strengthens your ability to engage with the unknown without being overwhelmed by it. Embracing resilience as a core value allows you to face ambiguity with courage. Resilience is the ability to endure without losing hope, to persist even when the path is unclear. By valuing resilience, you create a mindset that sees every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. This resilience is not about avoiding discomfort, but about enduring it with grace, allowing each experience of ambiguity to deepen your inner strength. With each step, you reinforce a kind of inner certainty that isn't based on knowing all the answers, but on trusting in your own capacity to handle whatever arises. Through these practices, Stoicism offers a way to find certainty within, even when life remains uncertain. Mastering ambiguity is not about removing the unknown. It's about developing a calm, resilient mindset that can thrive in its presence. Each practice builds a steady inner strength, a reminder that while you may not always know what lies ahead, you have the clarity and resilience to face it. By embracing the Stoic approach to ambiguity, you cultivate a peace that isn't dependent on external answers, a certainty rooted in your own unwavering strength and purpose. Having explored the art of finding steadiness in life's ambiguities, another crucial Stoic practice emerges: guarding the mind. The Stoics believed that true peace and resilience begin with how we manage our inner world. By cultivating a strong mental foundation, you create a personal fortress against emotional disturbances. This inner strength doesn't deny emotions, but instead provides a space where thoughts are filtered and processed wisely. Through deliberate mental practices, you can build a resilient mind that responds thoughtfully rather than reacts impulsively. Guarding your thoughts begins with awareness. Often, emotional disturbances arise from unchecked thoughts that spiral into worry or frustration. By paying close attention to your inner dialogue, you can catch these thoughts before they gain momentum. This awareness isn't about control, but about observation, seeing each thought for what it is without letting it take over. With practice, you become skilled at recognizing thoughts that lead to negativity and gently releasing them. This discipline creates a space of calm within, where thoughts come and go without disturbing your inner peace. Another vital practice is reframing. The Stoics believed that our perception of events shapes our emotional response more than the events themselves. By learning to reframe challenging situations, you shift your perspective in ways that reduce emotional distress. This reframing doesn't ignore difficulties, but seeks a constructive view. For instance, seeing setbacks as learning experiences rather than failures allows you to move through them with resilience. Each reframe strengthens your mind, teaching you to view life's challenges as opportunities for growth rather than sources of suffering. A powerful method for guarding the mind is maintaining focus on what is within your control. Much of emotional turmoil comes from concerns over things we cannot influence, others' opinions, outcomes, or circumstances. The Stoics encourage directing energy toward what you can affect: your thoughts, actions, and responses. By focusing on what is within reach, you build a mental clarity that isn't swayed by external unpredictability. This focus on control fosters a calm determination, reminding you that while you may not control everything, you always have a choice in how you respond. This shift in focus strengthens your inner resilience, creating a sense of agency that wards off unnecessary anxiety. Practicing self-compassion is another essential element in cultivating a strong inner fortress. The mind often engages in harsh self-criticism, which can lead to emotional disturbances. Stoicism, while known for its emphasis on self-discipline, also values kindness toward oneself. By treating yourself with the same patience and understanding you would offer to a friend, you reduce internal conflict. This self-compassion doesn't excuse mistakes, but views them with empathy, recognizing that growth involves learning from missteps. Each moment of self-kindness strengthens your mind, creating a supportive inner environment that allows you to face challenges with confidence. Another effective technique for guarding your thoughts is setting mental boundaries. Just as you protect your physical space, setting boundaries for your mind prevents emotional intrusion. This involves choosing what you allow to occupy your mental space, whether that's limiting exposure to negativity, filtering the information you consume, or steering conversations toward constructive topics. These boundaries don't isolate you from the world, but create a mental space where positivity and resilience thrive. Each boundary you set reinforces a mental environment that supports calm and clarity, helping you focus on thoughts that align with your values. Engaging in gratitude is another habit that strengthens mental resilience. By regularly focusing on what you appreciate, you train your mind to find value even in challenging circumstances. Gratitude shifts your attention from what's lacking to what's present, creating a balanced perspective that reduces emotional disturbance. This practice doesn't ignore difficulties, but places them within a context of abundance. Each moment spent in gratitude builds a calm, positive foundation, allowing you to navigate life's ups and downs with a steady inner peace. Gratitude becomes a mental anchor, a reminder of the richness present in your life, which fosters resilience against emotional turmoil. Another Stoic approach to guarding your thoughts is practicing detachment from specific outcomes. Emotional disturbance often arises from an attachment to how things should be rather than accepting how they are. By letting go of rigid expectations, you create a mental flexibility that adapts to life's unpredictability. This detachment isn't a lack of care, but a recognition that outcomes can't always be controlled. With each act of letting go, you cultivate a calm openness, a willingness to meet each experience without emotional strain. This mindset builds a resilient mind, one that remains steady regardless of changing circumstances. In addition, engaging in regular self-reflection helps you maintain mental clarity. Reflecting on your thoughts, actions, and intentions allows you to understand your triggers and patterns, which prepares you to handle future challenges with wisdom. This reflection isn't about overthinking, but about seeing yourself clearly. Each moment of reflection builds a foundation of self-awareness, enabling you to approach each experience with understanding rather than reaction. With practice, self-reflection becomes a tool for growth, creating a mental resilience that guards you against unnecessary emotional disturbance. Another powerful technique for cultivating an inner fortress is limiting comparison. Often, we disturb our peace by comparing ourselves to others, measuring our worth by external standards. By focusing on your own path, you create a mental environment where contentment can grow. This doesn't mean ignoring others' successes, but recognizing that each person's journey is unique. By freeing yourself from comparison, you build a confidence that isn't influenced by others' lives. Each step taken without comparison reinforces a sense of self-worth, creating a steady mind that remains focused on its own growth. Embracing humility strengthens your inner resilience. Humility isn't self-deprecation. It's an honest acknowledgement of your strengths and limitations. This acceptance fosters a calm mind, one that isn't driven by ego, but by a desire to learn and grow. Humility opens you to others' perspectives, reducing conflicts and emotional reactions. Each moment of humility strengthens your mind, helping you approach life with a steady resilience that isn't easily swayed by external opinions. Through these practices, you cultivate a mental fortress that supports a calm, resilient inner world. Guarding your thoughts like a Stoic doesn't mean blocking out emotions. It means creating an inner environment where peace and clarity thrive. With each mindful choice, you strengthen a foundation of mental resilience, allowing you to face life's challenges with unwavering strength. By embracing these Stoic techniques, you build an inner fortress, a steady mind that guards against emotional disturbance and empowers you to live with calm purpose. Having built an inner fortress that shields your peace from emotional disturbances, the next essential step in Stoic practice is transforming regret. For many, past mistakes can feel like weights that drain energy and cloud the present. However, Stoicism offers a way to lift this weight, turning regret into a source of motivation and wisdom. This approach is not about ignoring past actions or justifying errors, but about using the lessons from them to fuel growth. By learning how to transcend regret, you can approach each day with a renewed sense of purpose and strength, liberated from the hold of past missteps. The first step in transforming regret is embracing acceptance. Rather than trying to rewrite the past or wishing things had been different, Stoicism teaches that we must first acknowledge what has happened fully. Accepting past mistakes is not about resignation. It's an active recognition that, although the past cannot change, our perspective on it can. When you accept what has been, you create space for growth. This acceptance frees you from the mental loop of what if and allows you to focus on what you can learn from the experience. Acceptance in this way becomes the first step toward using regret constructively, as it anchors you in reality rather than in the weight of the past. Once acceptance is established, reflection becomes essential. The Stoics saw reflection as a powerful tool for understanding oneself and recognizing patterns. By examining your actions, intentions, and outcomes, you gain insights that prevent future mistakes. Reflection is not about reliving the past with guilt, but about assessing it with honesty. This reflective practice allows you to see your choices clearly, identifying what led to certain outcomes and where adjustments might be needed. Each reflection builds self-awareness, turning past actions into a valuable resource. Through honest reflection, you gain a sense of control over your growth, transforming regret into a guide rather than a burden. Turning regret into motivation involves focusing on actionable lessons. Every mistake carries insights that can inform wiser choices in the future. By concentrating on these lessons, you shift your energy from dwelling on what went wrong to applying what you've learned. This process reframes regret, transforming it from a source of self-criticism into a tool for personal development. When you treat each lesson as a stepping stone, you build resilience, as each past experience now contributes to a wiser, more thoughtful approach to life. This perspective allows you to use past errors as fuel, propelling you forward rather than holding you back. Another essential aspect of transcending regret is practicing forgiveness toward yourself. Often, regret is compounded by self-judgment and harsh criticism. Stoicism encourages approaching oneself with the same patience and understanding you would offer to a friend. Forgiving yourself is not about excusing mistakes, but about recognizing that growth involves learning and sometimes failing. This self-compassion allows you to release the burden of regret, acknowledging that errors are part of the human experience. Each act of forgiveness strengthens your inner peace, freeing you to move forward with clarity and purpose, unburdened by the past. Stoicism also teaches the importance of focusing on the present as a way to transcend regret. Regret often arises when we dwell on what we should have done instead of what we can do now. By centering yourself in the present moment, you harness the power to make different choices. This shift in focus empowers you to use the lessons from the past without being trapped by them. Living in the present doesn't ignore the past, but rather integrates its wisdom into current actions. Each present moment becomes an opportunity to live in alignment with your values, turning regret into a reminder of the importance of mindfulness and conscious choice. Viewing regret as a universal experience is another way to lighten its weight. Mistakes are part of every human journey, and understanding this helps you release feelings of isolation or shame associated with regret. When you see your errors as part of a shared human experience, you cultivate empathy toward yourself and others. This perspective reduces the emotional burden of regret, reminding you that growth often involves stumbles. Recognizing the shared nature of mistakes brings compassion, enabling you to move forward with a sense of connection rather than isolation. Another powerful Stoic approach to regret is focusing on what you can control moving forward. While you cannot change past actions, you have full agency over how you act today. By redirecting your energy from the past to the present, you regain control over your life. This focus on current choices builds a sense of empowerment, reminding you that while the past is set, your future remains open. Each choice in the present becomes a way to live in alignment with what you've learned, creating a life that reflects growth rather than guilt. Using past mistakes as a guide for setting new intentions is another way to transform regret into fuel. Instead of letting regret dictate your feelings, let it inform your goals. Setting intentions based on lessons learned from past experiences gives your actions purpose, aligning them with your values. This practice turns past regrets into a roadmap for improvement, reminding you that each intention is an opportunity to apply wisdom. With each intention, you shape a future that reflects growth and resilience, transforming regret into a powerful motivator. Embracing resilience is essential in the journey of transcending regret. Mistakes and regrets can either become sources of discouragement or foundations for strength, depending on how you approach them. By viewing each past experience as a test of resilience, you build a mindset that sees every setback as a chance to grow stronger. This resilience isn't about ignoring the past, but about letting it refine your character. With each instance of resilience, you reinforce the belief that you can face challenges without being defined by past errors. This strength becomes a core part of your character, a reminder that growth often arises from facing mistakes head-on. Through these practices, Stoicism offers a way to transform the weight of regret into a source of motivation and insight. Transcending regret is not about erasing the past, but about using it as a stepping stone toward a more purposeful, resilient life. Each practice strengthens your ability to face mistakes with wisdom, turning them into fuel for growth rather than sources of despair. In embracing this Stoic approach, you build a foundation of inner strength, a calm assurance that each experience, past or present, contributes to the journey of becoming your truest self. With the weight of past mistakes transformed into fuel for growth, Stoicism invites us to a unique perspective on optimism, one that acknowledges the worst life can offer, yet teaches us to appreciate the best even more. Stoic optimism doesn't deny hardships or turn away from challenges. Rather, it's a deep resilience that finds value in embracing all aspects of life, including its most difficult moments. This philosophy of optimism is rooted not in naive hope, but in a grounded strength, where acknowledging and preparing for adversity makes life's beauty even more meaningful. At the heart of Stoic optimism is the practice of accepting life as it is, with all its imperfections. Rather than resisting difficulties or wishing things were different, Stoicism encourages a mindset of embracing reality fully. By accepting that life brings both joy and hardship, you cultivate an inner balance that isn't easily disturbed by external events. This acceptance fosters a calm optimism, a way of seeing the world that values both highs and lows, understanding that each contributes to a richer experience. Accepting reality in its entirety teaches you to appreciate life's fleeting moments of peace and joy, knowing they are precious precisely because they are balanced by challenges. Preparing for adversity is another core element of Stoic optimism. By mentally rehearsing possible challenges, you build a mindset that doesn't fear hardship, but meets it with readiness. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, allows you to envision potential setbacks without succumbing to fear or worry. By calmly facing the possibility of loss, failure, or struggle, you equip yourself to handle these situations with resilience. This preparation doesn't darken your outlook. Instead, it strengthens a positive, confident attitude, as you know you can handle whatever life presents. Each moment of preparation enhances your appreciation for the present, reinforcing the value of what you have. Another layer of Stoic optimism involves focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Much of life's anxiety comes from trying to influence things beyond your power, which leads to frustration and disappointment. By centering your efforts on your own actions, thoughts, and responses, you build a secure foundation for optimism. This focus on internal control frees you from being swayed by circumstances, as your sense of contentment isn't dependent on external outcomes. Each act of focusing inward strengthens your resilience, a calm optimism that doesn't require ideal conditions to flourish, but grows from the steady belief in your own ability to respond thoughtfully to whatever arises. Another practice that builds Stoic optimism is reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Rather than seeing setbacks as purely negative, this perspective invites you to find the lessons within each experience. This reframing allows you to move through difficulties with a sense of purpose, understanding that even hardships contribute to your resilience and understanding. By viewing challenges as teachers, you nurture an optimistic mindset that sees value in every experience. Each reframe reinforces a belief in life's inherent worth, allowing you to appreciate both the smooth and rough aspects of your journey. Stoic optimism also encourages gratitude for life's simple blessings. By regularly practicing gratitude, you shift focus from what's lacking to what is present and fulfilling. This appreciation for life's small gifts enhances your overall outlook, reminding you that even in difficult times, there is always something to value. Gratitude builds a sense of abundance that counters feelings of loss or disappointment, nurturing a positive perspective that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Each moment of gratitude strengthens a resilient optimism, a reminder that beauty and meaning can be found even in the midst of life's trials. Practicing humility is another way Stoics cultivate optimism. Humility reminds you that life's ups and downs are shared experiences, part of the universal human condition. By recognizing that no one is immune to hardship, you develop empathy and a sense of connection to others, which softens the sting of personal challenges. This humility brings a grounded optimism, a calm understanding that both joy and pain are natural parts of life. Embracing humility reinforces a positive mindset, as you realize that challenges don't diminish your worth, but offer a common ground of resilience shared with all. Learning to savor the present moment is another powerful way to foster Stoic optimism. The Stoics taught that each moment is fleeting, and by fully engaging with the present, you capture the richness of life. This practice of savoring doesn't deny future challenges, but balances them by focusing on what is here now. Each moment of presence enhances your appreciation for life's beauty, whether it's a peaceful morning or a difficult lesson learned. By anchoring yourself in the present, you create a positive outlook that isn't weighed down by past regrets or future worries. This appreciation for the present deepens your optimism, as each moment becomes an opportunity to experience life fully. Stoic optimism also involves cultivating resilience through self-compassion. Rather than harshly judging yourself for difficulties, practicing kindness toward yourself builds a supportive inner environment. This self-compassion encourages a gentle strength, a belief that you can face hardships without losing faith in yourself. Each act of self-compassion nurtures a positive perspective, reminding you that growth often comes from patience and understanding rather than criticism. This internal support fosters a deep resilience, a reminder that you have the capacity to handle both success and struggle with grace. Engaging in service to others is another way Stoics foster optimism. By focusing on helping those around you, you shift your attention from personal worries to acts of kindness and connection. This focus on others builds a sense of purpose and fulfillment, a reminder of the positive impact you can have regardless of life's challenges. Each moment spent in service reinforces a positive mindset, as you see the difference you can make. This outward focus creates a sense of optimism that is grounded in community and shared values, a reminder that life's meaning often lies in the connections you build. Stoic optimism involves embracing impermanence as a source of appreciation. The Stoics taught that everything in life is temporary, and by accepting this, you learn to value each moment more deeply. This awareness of impermanence encourages you to cherish what you have while it's here, knowing that life's beauty often comes from its transient nature. Each moment of acceptance reinforces a positive outlook, a gratitude for the present that isn't diminished by the knowledge of change. This embrace of impermanence builds a resilient optimism, a reminder that life's richness comes from its ever-changing nature. Through these practices, Stoic optimism becomes a source of strength and resilience. By acknowledging life's challenges, preparing for adversity, and finding value in each moment, you build a positive outlook that is both grounded and enduring. Stoic optimism doesn't deny hardships, but transforms them into reminders of life's worth. With this approach, you cultivate a mindset that can face the worst without losing sight of the best, a resilient spirit that sees beauty in both the highs and lows of life. This perspective, rooted in acceptance, gratitude, and presence, empowers you to live with a steady optimism that honors the full spectrum of the human experience. Following the grounded strength of Stoic optimism, there lies a potent practice that can further fortify resilience, embracing controlled discomfort. The Stoics believed that small, intentional encounters with discomfort strengthen the mind, enabling it to face greater challenges with ease. Practicing discomfort isn't about seeking suffering, but about preparing oneself to navigate hardship with calm and confidence. Through brief, purposeful doses of discomfort, you train your mind to stay steady even when life's circumstances are less than ideal. This practice cultivates a kind of inner fortitude, an unwavering mindset that knows how to remain stable amidst life's unavoidable difficulties. Starting with small physical discomforts is a practical entry point. Simple acts like taking a cold shower or opting for a brisk walk in less than perfect weather can introduce mild hardship, teaching you to tolerate and even welcome physical discomfort. In moments like these, your mind learns to handle sensations that it would typically avoid, reshaping your reaction to discomfort as manageable rather than distressing. Each small act builds resilience, as you begin to see that physical challenges don't have to disrupt inner peace. This approach creates a mind that is steady and composed, prepared to meet more significant discomforts with the same calm acceptance. Practicing voluntary simplicity is another way to incorporate controlled discomfort. This exercise might involve limiting your daily consumption, such as eating simple meals or reducing your reliance on conveniences. By consciously choosing simplicity, you cultivate a mindset that isn't dependent on luxuries for contentment. Each day spent with less builds a quiet assurance that your happiness and peace do not rely on material abundance. This self-imposed simplicity fosters gratitude and humility, reminding you of the strength found in minimalism. With each experience of voluntary simplicity, you teach your mind to remain satisfied and resilient, regardless of external conditions. Another valuable exercise in practicing discomfort is reducing reliance on technology or conveniences. Spending a day without a smartphone or choosing manual tasks over automated ones introduces minor challenges that build patience and adaptability. By creating intentional pauses from convenience, you engage with the present moment more fully, resisting the urge for instant gratification. This practice reinforces self-control, reminding you that resilience often comes from being able to wait or endure small inconveniences. Each moment of technological restraint builds mental discipline, creating a foundation of patience and self-reliance that serves you well in situations requiring endurance. Engaging in controlled social discomfort is also an effective way to build mental fortitude. Speaking up in situations that require courage, like setting boundaries or expressing an unpopular opinion, tests your comfort zone and strengthens your confidence. By facing social discomfort in small doses, you learn to handle rejection or disagreement without letting it undermine your self-worth. This practice develops a mindset that isn't easily shaken by others' opinions, reinforcing a steady inner confidence. Each instance of facing social discomfort prepares you for more significant challenges, creating a resilience that supports you in interactions both small and large. Practicing discomfort through mild financial restraint can also be transformative. For example, intentionally reducing spending for a set period helps you assess your needs and wants more thoughtfully. This exercise not only cultivates financial discipline, but also reinforces self-sufficiency, reminding you that peace and contentment are not tied to material possessions. By setting limits on spending, you create a buffer of financial resilience, learning to prioritize what truly matters. Each instance of financial restraint reinforces a calm assurance that your well-being isn't dependent on constant consumption, building a mindset that values essentials over excess. Physical exercise, especially challenging or unfamiliar forms, is another powerful way to practice discomfort. Activities like endurance running, weightlifting, or even yoga introduce controlled strain that teaches the mind to persist despite physical limitations. Each session of physical exertion builds mental resilience as you learn to push beyond what feels easy. This practice strengthens both body and mind, showing you that discomfort can be endured and even embraced. Physical challenges serve as a reminder that strength is developed gradually, reinforcing a resilient mindset that approaches all forms of hardship with patience and resolve. Practicing delayed gratification is another Stoic exercise that strengthens resilience to discomfort. By postponing immediate rewards, such as waiting before eating a favorite treat or delaying a purchase, you train the mind to resist impulsive desires. This practice builds self-discipline, reminding you that fulfillment doesn't always require instant satisfaction. With each moment of delayed gratification, you reinforce a calm patience that is untroubled by waiting. This approach creates a mindset that values long-term well-being over short-term pleasure, a powerful tool in building a steady, unshaken mind. Setting personal challenges, like learning a new skill or undertaking a difficult project, also introduces a kind of constructive discomfort. These challenges push you beyond your comfort zone, exposing you to mistakes, setbacks, and slow progress. By engaging in these activities with a patient mindset, you learn to approach difficulties with curiosity rather than frustration. Each step forward, even if small, builds resilience as you grow comfortable with the learning process itself rather than demanding immediate success. This practice teaches you to value persistence over perfection, creating a resilient mindset that sees effort as rewarding, regardless of the outcome. Practicing mental discomfort by confronting fears in small doses is another Stoic approach to strengthening the mind. Whether it's speaking to a stranger, trying something unfamiliar, or engaging in self-reflection on uncomfortable topics, each act of facing fear builds courage. These small doses of courage expand your comfort zone, reminding you that fear need not be paralyzing. By approaching fears mindfully, you cultivate a mindset that sees discomfort as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Each moment of courage builds an inner confidence, a resilient belief in your ability to face challenges without avoiding them. Another method is practicing acceptance of uncertainty, allowing yourself to sit with not knowing what the outcome of a situation will be. Whether waiting for a response, an outcome, or a decision, learning to tolerate ambiguity builds a calm resilience. This practice helps you stay grounded, even in moments where certainty is lacking, teaching you that peace of mind doesn't rely on knowing everything. Each moment spent in acceptance of uncertainty reinforces your inner stability, a reminder that calm can be found even when answers are elusive. These small, intentional practices create a profound mental resilience, a steady foundation that supports you in both minor and major hardships. By training yourself to meet discomfort with patience and calm, you cultivate a mindset that isn't easily disturbed by life's unpredictability. Practicing discomfort as a Stoic exercise teaches you to find strength in challenge, building an unshakable mind that approaches each moment with confidence and composure. Through this approach, you transform discomfort from a source of anxiety into a tool for growth, preparing you to face life's inevitable challenges with a resilient and unwavering spirit. Having embraced the practice of meeting discomfort head-on to strengthen the mind, we now shift to a form of resilience that is less visible yet equally profound. Stoic habits can fortify the inner self in ways that may not be immediately apparent to others, but build a lasting inner strength over time. These subtle practices aren't about bold acts or visible feats. They are quiet, disciplined actions that nourish and reinforce a steady, unbreakable core within. This invisible resilience becomes a quiet power, a calm stability that doesn't seek validation but serves as an unshakable foundation during life's challenges. The first subtle habit in building invisible resilience is practicing mental clarity. The mind can often feel cluttered by worries, judgments, or unnecessary thoughts, creating mental noise that undermines peace. By spending a few moments each day observing and releasing unnecessary thoughts, you create space for clarity. This practice isn't about controlling every thought, but about letting go of distractions that drain your focus. With regular practice, mental clarity becomes a habit, enabling you to face each moment with a focused, unburdened mind. This subtle resilience forms a foundation of calm, a quiet confidence in your ability to approach life without mental clutter. Another habit that builds inner resilience is practicing presence. By focusing deeply on the present, You train the mind to remain steady rather than pulled into worries about the past or future. Presence isn't just about being physically in the moment. It's about engaging fully with what's happening, listening, observing, and responding with attentiveness. This focused presence fortifies the inner self, teaching you to remain grounded regardless of external circumstances. With time, this habit creates a resilient mind, one that isn't easily swayed by distractions, but is anchored in the reality of each experience. Practicing detachment is another powerful yet subtle way to build inner resilience. This doesn't mean indifference. Rather, it's about letting go of the need to control or own every outcome. By detaching from expectations or specific results, you create an inner freedom, a space where peace isn't disrupted by unmet desires. Detachment allows you to engage fully with life while releasing the burden of needing things to turn out a particular way. This habit reinforces a calm resilience, a steady assurance that allows you to face each outcome with equanimity, knowing that your worth isn't tied to any specific achievement. Another subtle habit is developing a routine of daily reflection. By dedicating a few moments each day to review your actions, thoughts, and reactions, you create a habit of self-awareness that strengthens the mind. Reflection helps you identify patterns, refine your responses, and align more closely with your values. This routine isn't about judgment, but about gentle self-observation, a way to understand your own mind more deeply. Each reflection session builds a foundation of self-knowledge, a quiet resilience that enables you to approach each day with greater insight and calm. Engaging in gratitude, even in small moments, is another way to subtly build resilience. Gratitude shifts your perspective, encouraging you to notice the positive aspects of life, even when challenges arise. This shift doesn't ignore difficulties, but places them within a broader context of appreciation. Gratitude creates a balanced mindset, a steady reminder of life's blessings even during hard times. By consistently practicing gratitude, you strengthen a positive outlook that supports resilience, a quiet assurance that you can find something valuable in each experience. Practicing humility is a Stoic habit that builds invisible resilience by grounding you in an honest understanding of yourself. Humility involves recognizing your strengths and limitations without inflating or diminishing your worth. By approaching life with a humble mindset, you open yourself to continuous learning and growth, which strengthens your resilience in facing challenges. Humility prevents rigid thinking, allowing you to adapt and adjust with grace. This habit reinforces an inner strength, a quiet confidence that doesn't seek validation but finds stability in a true, balanced understanding of yourself. Setting boundaries in your mental and emotional space is another subtle way to build resilience. Boundaries aren't about isolation, they are about protecting your peace and focus. By limiting the amount of negative information or unnecessary opinions you allow into your mental space, you create a calmer inner environment. This habit of setting mental boundaries reinforces your capacity to concentrate on what matters, reducing distractions and creating a space where your mind can thrive. Each boundary set strengthens your resilience, a reminder that your inner peace is worth guarding, even in subtle ways. Engaging in regular silence is also a Stoic habit that strengthens resilience. By intentionally spending time in quiet reflection or meditation, you create a mental space where calmness and clarity can flourish. Silence allows you to observe your thoughts without judgment, to sit with yourself without distraction. This practice fosters a deep resilience, teaching you to find peace within rather than relying on external stimulation. Each moment of silence reinforces your ability to handle life with a steady mind, reminding you that resilience often grows in the quiet spaces of your inner self. Cultivating patience is another subtle Stoic habit that fortifies the mind. By learning to wait calmly, whether in daily situations or during long-term pursuits, you strengthen your ability to endure without frustration. Patience is a quiet strength, a reminder that resilience is often about waiting, observing, and trusting the process. This habit of patience creates a steady mind that isn't easily agitated, building a resilience that endures without demanding instant results. Each act of patience teaches you to find peace in the process, reinforcing a calm confidence in your ability to navigate life's pace. Regularly practicing forgiveness, both toward yourself and others, is also a Stoic way of building invisible resilience. By choosing to let go of grudges or regrets, you release emotional weights that can drain inner strength. Forgiveness doesn't excuse actions. It frees you from being tied to past pain. This habit reinforces a resilient heart, one that can face difficulties with compassion and understanding rather than resentment. Each act of forgiveness strengthens your inner peace, a reminder that resilience often grows from letting go rather than holding on. Through these practices, you cultivate an inner resilience that is subtle but unbreakable. This isn't resilience that needs to be displayed outwardly. It's a quiet, enduring strength that fortifies you from within. By embracing these Stoic habits, you build a steady foundation of calm, focus, and peace, a resilience that remains even in life's most challenging moments. This invisible resilience becomes a powerful ally, a reminder that true strength often grows from the most subtle, consistent actions. Following the subtle strength gained through invisible resilience, we turn to another Stoic discipline that enhances this inner fortress: cultivating uninterrupted focus. In a world full of distractions, the Stoics believed in carving mental sanctuaries where one could engage deeply and purposefully, unaffected by chaos. The power of focus isn't just about productivity. It's about creating a sanctuary of thought, a calm refuge where clarity and purpose thrive. This practice of focused attention allows you to control your mental energy, directing it toward what truly matters while shielding it from the pull of interruptions. In this way, focus becomes a powerful tool for stability and intentional living. The foundation of interruption-free focus is the ability to prioritize, a practice that aligns your actions with your values. By identifying what matters most in any given moment, you train your mind to resist distractions that do not serve your purpose. This isn't about doing more, but about giving your full attention to what aligns with your priorities. Prioritizing in this way builds a clear sense of direction, a mental sanctuary where focus becomes a source of calm and intention. Each moment dedicated to priority strengthens your ability to remain centered, allowing you to face even the most chaotic situations with a steady mind. Another essential element in cultivating focus is setting clear boundaries. Distractions often arise from external demands, emails, notifications, or unexpected interruptions that can easily draw your attention away. By creating boundaries around your time and mental space, you protect your focus, allowing yourself to engage deeply without interference. These boundaries aren't about isolation. They're about creating a mental environment where you can work and reflect without fragmentation. With each boundary, you reinforce a mental sanctuary, a protected space where your thoughts can flow without disruption. This steady focus builds resilience, helping you remain unshaken by external noise. Practicing mindfulness is another Stoic method for enhancing focus. By bringing full awareness to each task, you train your mind to engage fully with what's in front of you, minimizing the urge to multitask. Mindfulness allows you to immerse yourself in the present, noticing details and nuances that might otherwise go unnoticed. This practice creates a depth of focus a connection to the moment that reduces mental scattering. Each mindful moment strengthens your ability to concentrate, building a mental sanctuary where you can explore ideas and tasks with clarity. This focus not only enhances productivity, but also cultivates a calm, steady presence. Minimizing digital distractions is also a powerful tool in cultivating focus. Devices and screens are designed to capture attention, often pulling you away from meaningful tasks. By setting aside specific times for technology use, you create space for uninterrupted thought. This practice isn't about avoiding technology altogether, but about using it intentionally. Each break from digital distractions allows your mind to reset, reinforcing a mental sanctuary where focus thrives. Over time, this habit builds a resilience to digital pull, creating a focus that isn't easily interrupted by the external world. Practicing single tasking, or focusing on one task at a time, is another Stoic approach to building deep concentration. Multitasking divides your attention, leaving each task only partially completed and often draining mental energy. By dedicating full attention to one task, you create a flow that enhances both quality and efficiency. Single tasking reinforces a steady, uninterrupted focus, a reminder that depth is often more powerful than breadth. Each single tasking moment builds a mental sanctuary, a space where your mind can fully engage without fragmentation. This approach creates a focused mindset that values presence over speed, allowing you to approach each task with calm intent. Engaging in regular periods of silence can also strengthen your focus. Silence creates a quiet space where your mind can settle, free from the constant input of sounds and voices. In silence, you can hear your thoughts more clearly, allowing you to explore ideas without external influence. Each silent moment acts as a mental sanctuary, a place where focus and clarity can flourish. This practice of silence builds an inner calm that supports focus, teaching you to find peace even amidst life's noise. With each period of silence, you reinforce your ability to concentrate, a steady resilience that remains even in the face of distractions. Practicing intentional breaks is another Stoic habit that strengthens focus. The mind benefits from periods of rest, where it can process and integrate information without continuous input. By taking breaks between tasks, you allow your mind to refresh, returning to focus with renewed clarity. These breaks are not about distraction, but about recharging mental energy, creating a balance that supports sustained concentration. Each intentional break reinforces your ability to focus deeply, a mental sanctuary where your mind can work without fatigue. This approach builds resilience, teaching you that focus is a rhythm of work and rest, a balance that sustains clarity. Building rituals around focus can also create a mental sanctuary. Rituals, whether it's a morning routine or a simple practice before starting work, signal to the mind that it's time to engage deeply. These small acts prepare you for focus, creating a familiar pattern that enhances concentration. Each ritual strengthens your mental sanctuary, a place where your mind can settle into focus without resistance. Rituals build a steady approach to focus, a reminder that intention and preparation create an environment where deep work can thrive. This approach creates resilience, as each ritual reinforces a mindset that values depth and calm over hurry. Practicing detachment from outcomes is another Stoic method that supports focus. Often, anxiety over results can disrupt concentration, pulling the mind toward future worries. By detaching from specific outcomes, you allow yourself to focus on the process rather than the end result. This detachment creates a mental sanctuary where you can work without the pressure of immediate success. Each moment of detachment strengthens your focus, reminding you that true productivity arises from presence rather than outcome-driven thoughts. This approach builds resilience, a calm assurance that remains steady regardless of external pressures. Through these practices, Stoic focus becomes a powerful source of inner peace and strength. By creating mental sanctuaries amidst chaos, you carve spaces of clarity and intention in a busy world. Focus, when cultivated in this way, becomes a shield against distraction, a steady core that enhances every aspect of life. With each practice, you reinforce a calm, resilient mind that values depth over haste, clarity over noise. This Stoic approach to focus empowers you to live with intention, a reminder that the mind, when protected and guided, can thrive amid even the most demanding circumstances. After developing deep focus as a sanctuary amid life's noise, another essential Stoic practice for inner strength is building self-confidence that doesn't rely on validation. This unseen confidence isn't rooted in recognition from others, but arises from a steady belief in one's values, actions, and purpose. Stoic confidence is an unshakable self-trust built through introspection, discipline, and the cultivation of virtues that guide each decision. By learning to nurture this inner foundation, you discover a sense of worth that remains strong without needing approval from the outside world. The first step in developing unseen confidence is cultivating self-awareness. Self-awareness allows you to recognize your strengths and areas for growth with honesty and acceptance. Rather than comparing yourself to others, self-awareness invites you to understand your unique abilities and qualities. This perspective teaches you to value your individuality without needing to measure up to external standards. Each moment of self-awareness builds confidence as you learn to appreciate your progress and potential without needing validation. This inner recognition forms the foundation of self-trust, a quiet assurance that doesn't waver in the face of others' opinions. Practicing self-discipline is another key to unseen confidence. By setting goals and following through with consistent action, you reinforce a belief in your own reliability. Self-discipline isn't about harshness, but about aligning your actions with your values, which builds a kind of self-respect that external validation cannot provide. Each disciplined action strengthens your sense of integrity, a reminder that true confidence comes from living in accordance with your beliefs. This practice creates a foundation of trust in yourself, a resilient self-esteem that grows not from applause, but from knowing you can rely on your own commitment. Focusing on internal values rather than external achievements is another Stoic way to build self-esteem. External achievements may bring momentary satisfaction, but they can also lead to a need for continuous validation. By rooting confidence in values like honesty, kindness, or resilience, you create a steady source of worth that doesn't fluctuate. Each value-driven action reinforces your self-esteem, reminding you that true worth is found in character rather than status. This inward focus builds a calm, enduring confidence that remains strong even when achievements or recognition are absent. Practicing gratitude for personal growth and progress, no matter how small, is another Stoic method to build unseen confidence. By appreciating each step on your journey, you teach yourself to find value in effort rather than in outcomes alone. Gratitude for progress reminds you that growth is a continuous process, one that isn't diminished by setbacks. Each moment of gratitude strengthens your self-esteem, creating a mindset that celebrates improvement rather than perfection. This habit of recognizing progress fosters a confidence rooted in self-appreciation, a steady assurance that doesn't rely on outside praise. Learning to embrace mistakes and failures as part of growth is another powerful way to build confidence without validation. The Stoics believed that each mistake offers a lesson, an opportunity to refine your actions and intentions. By viewing failures as steps on the path of growth rather than as flaws, you build resilience and self-compassion. This mindset teaches you that confidence isn't about being flawless, but about learning and improving. Each experience of growth from mistakes builds a deeper self-trust, a confidence that doesn't fear imperfection, but embraces it as a part of becoming stronger. Setting boundaries is also essential for building unseen confidence. By setting limits around your time, energy, and attention, you create a space where your self-esteem isn't dependent on pleasing others. Boundaries protect your mental and emotional well-being, reinforcing a sense of self-respect that remains steady regardless of others' reactions. Each boundary set strengthens your confidence, a reminder that your worth doesn't rely on external approval. This practice cultivates a self-assurance that respects your own needs and values, fostering a resilience that thrives even when validation is withheld. Practicing self-compassion builds a kind of inner confidence that isn't shaken by self-criticism. By treating yourself with kindness, especially in moments of difficulty, you build a supportive inner environment. Self-compassion allows you to accept yourself fully, including imperfections and struggles, which fosters a deep sense of worth. Each act of self-compassion reinforces a confidence that values inner kindness over external judgment. This approach to self-esteem is resilient, a reminder that true confidence grows from accepting and caring for yourself rather than seeking acceptance from others. Another way to build unseen confidence is through the habit of setting and achieving small, personal goals. By focusing on goals that reflect your values and interests, rather than goals that seek external recognition, you build self-esteem rooted in self-direction. Each goal achieved reinforces a belief in your own capabilities, a reminder that confidence comes from your own actions and efforts. This practice strengthens your self-trust. A quiet confidence that knows your worth isn't based on external benchmarks, but on personal growth. Engaging in acts of service is also a Stoic method that builds self-esteem. By contributing to others' well-being, you create a sense of purpose and connection that reinforces self-worth. Acts of kindness remind you that your value is not just in what you achieve, but in how you contribute to the world. Each act of service strengthens a confidence that values generosity and compassion over external approval. This habit fosters a resilient self-esteem, a sense of worth that grows from the positive impact you make rather than from others' praise. Developing resilience through embracing challenges also fosters unseen confidence. By facing difficult situations with courage and patience, you build a belief in your own strength. Each challenge overcome reinforces your resilience, a reminder that confidence often grows from endurance rather than ease. This approach creates a self-assurance that isn't fragile, but strengthened by experience. The confidence built through resilience is unshaken by adversity, a steady assurance that remains intact regardless of external circumstances. Through these practices, Stoicism offers a path to self-confidence that doesn't seek validation, but finds worth in character, values, and actions. This unseen confidence is a quiet strength, a resilient belief in oneself that thrives without applause. By cultivating this Stoic self-esteem, you build a foundation of worth that remains steady through life's highs and lows, a lasting assurance that true confidence is rooted in the integrity of one's own mind and heart. Having built a strong foundation of unseen confidence, grounded in self-reliance rather than external validation, we now approach a different aspect of Stoic growth, reconciling the internal contradictions that can arise within the mind. Life presents moments when desires, goals, or values seem to conflict, leaving us feeling divided. The Stoics saw this inner tension not as a flaw, but as an opportunity for clarity and personal alignment. They developed tools to navigate conflicting desires, transforming them into a path of self-understanding and peace. By bringing awareness and reason to these internal struggles, we can find harmony, allowing us to move forward with greater clarity and purpose. The first step in navigating inner contradictions is cultivating awareness of your own thoughts and motivations. When desires conflict, it's easy to feel pulled in different directions, but by observing your thoughts without judgment, you gain insight into why these contradictions exist. This awareness isn't about choosing sides, but about understanding the reasons behind each desire or goal. By examining what lies beneath each inclination, you see the values, fears, or needs driving them. Each moment spent in awareness builds clarity, allowing you to address conflicting desires from a place of understanding rather than impulse. Another powerful Stoic approach to resolving contradictions is examining each desire through the lens of your values. When faced with opposing impulses, ask yourself which choice aligns more closely with your core values. This exercise creates a framework where desires are no longer competing, but are assessed based on what genuinely reflects your principles. By aligning choices with values, you transform inner conflict into an opportunity for growth. Each decision strengthens your sense of purpose, building a mindset that navigates contradictions with clarity and integrity. Practicing patience in decision-making is also crucial in reconciling inner contradictions. Rushing to resolve conflicting desires can lead to decisions that may feel out of alignment later. Patience allows you to sit with the tension of opposing desires without feeling compelled to act immediately. This approach doesn't deny urgency, but encourages a calm consideration that respects the complexity of the situation. By allowing time for reflection, you create space for genuine clarity to emerge, making choices that reflect thoughtfulness rather than haste. This practice of patience reinforces a steady mind, one that can face inner contradictions without pressure, finding solutions that honor both clarity and peace. Reflecting on past experiences can also help resolve inner conflicts. Often, past decisions provide valuable lessons that illuminate patterns, strengths, or areas for growth. By examining how similar conflicts were handled in the past, you gain insight into what aligns best with your well-being and values. Reflection allows you to see how certain choices led to peace or regret, guiding you in current decisions. This practice of learning from experience strengthens your clarity, a reminder that each moment of self-awareness contributes to wiser choices in the present. Seeking the middle ground between conflicting desires can also foster harmony. Not all inner contradictions require an either-or resolution. Sometimes, a balanced approach honors both desires. For example, if you feel torn between rest and productivity, you might establish a routine that allows time for both. This balanced approach doesn't compromise, but creates a synthesis that respects each desire's value. By finding the middle path, you develop flexibility, a resilience that isn't bound by rigid thinking, but adapts to each situation. Each balanced decision reinforces a mindset that embraces complexity with grace, a reminder that harmony can often be found between extremes. Practicing detachment from outcomes is another Stoic method for handling inner contradictions. Often, conflicting desires stem from an attachment to specific outcomes. By releasing the need for a particular result, you free yourself from the pressure of making the right choice. This detachment allows you to approach decisions with openness, focusing on the present rather than being driven by future expectations. Each moment of detachment strengthens your ability to navigate desires with calm, a reminder that peace often arises from releasing control. This approach builds a steady clarity, a confidence that remains grounded even when the path forward isn't fully clear. Listening to your intuition is also a valuable tool in resolving inner contradictions. While reason plays an essential role, intuition often provides insights that logic alone may not reveal. By tuning into this inner voice, you gain a sense of what feels aligned, even if it defies straightforward analysis. Intuition isn't about impulsiveness. It's a quiet guidance that often knows what resonates with your true self. Each moment spent listening to intuition strengthens your self-trust, a reminder that clarity often arises when the mind and heart are in harmony. Engaging in self-compassion throughout this process is essential. Inner conflict can bring feelings of doubt or frustration, but approaching yourself with kindness allows you to explore these contradictions without harsh judgment. Self-compassion provides a supportive space where you can acknowledge your complexities without feeling burdened by them. Each act of self-kindness reinforces a peaceful mindset, a reminder that inner harmony grows when you approach yourself with understanding. This compassion builds a resilience that embraces contradictions as part of the journey, a steady assurance that clarity often requires patience and care. Seeking the wisdom of others, particularly those who share your values, can also provide perspective when facing inner contradictions. Others' insights don't make decisions for you, but they can offer viewpoints that illuminate aspects you may have overlooked. By engaging in open, honest conversations, you gain a broader perspective that can clarify your own thoughts. This shared wisdom reinforces your confidence, reminding you that while your path is unique, understanding often grows through connection. Each shared insight strengthens your clarity, a reminder that community can be a source of support when navigating inner complexities. Embracing ambiguity is another Stoic practice that helps reconcile inner contradictions. Not all desires will align perfectly, and learning to sit with uncertainty can build a calm acceptance. This acceptance doesn't ignore the need for decision-making, but acknowledges that life's complexities sometimes require flexibility. By embracing the unknown, you cultivate a resilience that faces ambiguity with grace, understanding that clarity often unfolds gradually. Each moment of acceptance strengthens your peace, a reminder that not all conflicts need immediate resolution. This approach fosters a steady confidence, an assurance that clarity will come in its own time. Through these practices, Stoicism offers a path to reconciling inner contradictions with clarity and peace. By aligning desires with values, practicing patience, and embracing ambiguity, you transform inner conflict into an opportunity for understanding. Each practice strengthens a resilience that isn't easily swayed by contradictions, but approaches them with calm, thoughtful clarity. This Stoic journey empowers you to find harmony within, a lasting peace that arises not from removing desires, but from embracing them with insight and grace. After gaining clarity and harmony by reconciling inner contradictions, another vital Stoic practice for lasting resilience is the art of conserving energy. Stoics understood that mental and emotional reserves are not limitless. They must be protected and renewed to maintain inner strength and focus. Practicing energy conservation isn't about withdrawal or avoidance. It's a mindful approach to managing resources, ensuring that time, attention, and emotions are dedicated only to what aligns with your values. By mastering this art, you create a life that feels full and purposeful without the depletion that comes from scattered energy. The first step in conserving energy is setting intentional boundaries. Boundaries protect your mental space, ensuring that distractions and unnecessary obligations don't drain your focus. By consciously limiting the access others have to your time, you allow yourself the freedom to dedicate energy to what matters most. This isn't about creating walls, but about guiding your interactions thoughtfully, knowing that not every demand requires your attention. Each boundary set strengthens your mental reserve, reinforcing a clarity that respects your own needs without unnecessary interference. Practicing selective focus is also essential in conserving energy. Rather than trying to keep up with every piece of information or every opportunity, selective focus allows you to prioritize what genuinely serves your growth and values. This approach frees you from the pressure to do everything, allowing you to concentrate fully on chosen pursuits. Each act of selective focus builds mental discipline, a reminder that your energy is a precious resource. By focusing only on what aligns with your goals, you protect yourself from the fatigue that comes from overcommitment. Mindful detachment from external outcomes is another powerful Stoic method for conserving energy. When your well-being depends on specific outcomes, emotional energy is often spent on worry, anxiety, or frustration if things don't go as planned. By practicing detachment, you release the need to control every result, allowing your mental energy to remain calm and steady. This doesn't mean indifference, but a shift in focus from outcome to effort. Each moment of detachment reinforces a resilient peace, teaching you that contentment comes from within rather than from controlling external factors. Simplifying your environment is another subtle but effective way to conserve energy. Clutter and disorder, both physical and mental, create distractions that deplete focus. By organizing your space and minimizing unnecessary possessions, you create an atmosphere that supports calm and concentration. This practice extends to mental clutter as well. Avoiding excessive information or limiting the number of decisions you make each day can conserve energy for what truly matters. Each act of simplification builds a sanctuary of focus, a reminder that peace often arises from simplicity rather than complexity. Practicing emotional regulation is also crucial in energy conservation. Strong emotions, whether positive or negative, can be mentally taxing if left unmanaged. By cultivating calm responses to life's ups and downs, you avoid the emotional swings that drain energy. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings, but approaching them with awareness and moderation. Each moment spent in emotional balance builds a steady reserve of mental energy, a reminder that inner peace comes from gentle, controlled responses rather than reactive impulses. Learning the art of saying no is another Stoic strategy for conserving energy. Opportunities and requests will often arise, but not every invitation aligns with your goals or values. Saying no to what doesn't serve your purpose frees your time and energy for what does. This act of self-respect protects your mental reserves, allowing you to engage deeply with chosen commitments without feeling stretched thin. Each no spoken strengthens your boundaries, a reminder that self-care sometimes involves turning down what distracts from your path. Engaging in moments of solitude is also a powerful way to renew energy. Solitude provides space for reflection, a time to reconnect with your thoughts and emotions without external influence. In solitude, you have the freedom to recharge without the demands of social interaction, creating a calm reserve that supports focus. Each moment of solitude builds resilience, a quiet assurance that inner peace is nurtured through rest and renewal. This time alone reinforces the practice of energy conservation, allowing you to meet life's demands with a fresh and steady mind. Practicing self-compassion is another Stoic method that protects your mental and emotional reserves. Self-criticism and harsh judgment drain energy, creating an inner tension that depletes resilience. By treating yourself with understanding, especially during difficult times, you build a foundation of support that conserves mental strength. Self-compassion doesn't excuse mistakes, but acknowledges them without the added weight of blame. Each moment of self-kindness renews your energy, creating a gentle foundation from which to approach challenges with clarity and peace. Engaging in regular physical exercise is also a way to conserve and build energy. Physical movement, whether it's a simple walk or a structured workout, increases stamina and resilience, supporting both body and mind. Exercise releases stress and renews focus, creating a balanced energy that supports mental well-being. Each moment of physical activity builds strength, a reminder that energy often grows from taking care of the body. This practice creates a solid foundation, allowing you to approach daily tasks with a steady reserve rather than fatigue. Developing a consistent daily routine is another Stoic practice that conserves energy. Routine minimizes the number of daily decisions, freeing mental resources for more significant choices. By following a pattern that aligns with your values, you create an efficient structure that supports focus and productivity. Each day spent in routine builds a rhythm that conserves energy, a reminder that simplicity and order can create freedom. This approach allows you to meet each day with a clear mind, one that isn't drained by unnecessary decisions, but strengthened by consistency. Through these practices, Stoicism offers a path to conserving mental and emotional reserves, creating a balanced and steady approach to life. By setting boundaries, practicing detachment, and engaging in moments of rest, you build a resilience that doesn't rely on constant stimulation, but thrives on calm, intentional energy management. This art of energy conservation becomes a powerful ally, a reminder that true strength often comes not from endless exertion, but from knowing when to protect and renew. By mastering this art, you empower yourself to navigate life's demands with a steady, peaceful mind, one that meets each moment with purpose and clarity. Having refined the art of conserving energy and protecting mental and emotional reserves, Stoicism invites us to take another inward journey, one that cultivates deep self-awareness through the practice of embracing the inner watcher. This silent, non-judgmental observer within us can illuminate our thoughts, emotions, and actions without harsh criticism or defensiveness. By developing this reflective presence, we gain insight into our motivations and responses, allowing us to understand ourselves on a profound level. Stoic reflection through the lens of the inner watcher enables us to engage with our true selves, shedding light on patterns, strengths, and areas for growth without the weight of judgment. The first step in connecting with this inner watcher is fostering curiosity about your own mind. Rather than moving through thoughts or reactions on autopilot, allow yourself to become genuinely interested in your internal world. Observe your mental processes, noticing how thoughts arise and fade without clinging to any single one. This act of quiet observation builds a mental clarity, a gentle understanding that isn't distracted by judgment or attachment. Each moment spent in curiosity reinforces your ability to watch your thoughts with openness, allowing self-awareness to grow naturally rather than being forced. Developing emotional awareness is also key in nurturing the inner watcher. Emotions, especially intense ones, can often overwhelm, making it challenging to step back and view them objectively. However, by approaching emotions with a calm acknowledgement, you can explore what they reveal without letting them dictate your actions. Recognize feelings as temporary states, each carrying a message or insight rather than a permanent truth. This understanding allows you to hold space for emotions without judgment, strengthening your ability to engage with them in a balanced, insightful way. Each encounter with emotion builds resilience, teaching you that feelings are valuable teachers rather than forces to suppress or indulge. Practicing detachment from identity-based labels or narratives is another way to engage the inner watcher. Often, people view themselves through labels or stories, such as "I'm successful" or "I always fail." These narratives can become limiting, creating unnecessary expectations or discouragement. By observing yourself without attaching to any identity labels, you allow the freedom to grow and evolve. This detachment fosters a deeper self-understanding, a recognition that you are not defined by any single story. Each moment of detachment strengthens your inner watcher, a reminder that true self-awareness sees beyond labels to the complexities and nuances within. Another powerful Stoic practice in developing self-awareness is the use of daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to observe your actions, thoughts, and reactions with the mindset of the inner watcher. Reflect on moments of patience, times when you felt frustration, or actions that brought satisfaction. This isn't about self-criticism, but about exploring your choices and behaviors to understand patterns. Each reflection builds a quiet clarity, a deeper understanding of your own habits and tendencies without the need for judgment. This practice reinforces your capacity to see yourself as a continuous work in progress, one that values growth over perfection. Embracing mindfulness throughout the day allows you to cultivate this inner watcher in real time. Rather than waiting for a specific time to observe yourself, mindfulness encourages ongoing awareness of each action and thought. When engaged in an activity, be fully present, noticing the sensations, sounds, or feelings without needing to change them. This habit of mindful presence brings the inner watcher to life, teaching you to stay connected to the present rather than lost in past regrets or future worries. Each mindful moment builds an unshakable presence, a reminder that self-awareness is an active, living process rather than a distant goal. Practicing forgiveness toward yourself is essential in fostering a non-judgmental inner watcher. Judgment often comes from holding on to past mistakes or perceived shortcomings, which clouds self-awareness with regret or self-criticism. By learning to forgive yourself, you create a supportive inner environment where growth is encouraged rather than stifled. Forgiveness allows you to acknowledge past actions without being defined by them, reinforcing a compassionate approach to self-reflection. Each act of self-forgiveness strengthens the inner watcher, a reminder that understanding yourself fully requires kindness, not condemnation. Cultivating the ability to pause before reacting is another way to engage the inner watcher. In moments of stress or conflict, taking a brief pause allows you to observe your impulses before taking action. This pause creates a space where you can respond thoughtfully rather than reactively, a practice that builds inner resilience. By observing your initial impulses without immediately acting on them, you gain insight into what drives your reactions. Each pause reinforces your ability to stay centered, a reminder that self-awareness often requires a moment of reflection rather than instant reaction. Engaging in self-inquiry, asking yourself reflective questions, is another powerful Stoic method to deepen self-awareness. Questions like, "What is driving this feeling?" or "What outcome am I truly seeking?" encourage you to explore your inner motivations and values. This process of questioning doesn't seek definitive answers, but opens the door to deeper understanding. Each question builds self-awareness, a reminder that curiosity and introspection can reveal layers of your mind and heart. This self-inquiry fosters a relationship with the inner watcher that values depth over certainty, a practice that encourages continual learning and growth. Another approach to enhancing self-awareness is practicing gratitude for each insight gained. By acknowledging and appreciating moments of clarity, you reinforce the importance of self-reflection. Gratitude creates a positive relationship with the practice of observation, making it an experience that feels rewarding rather than critical. Each moment of gratitude for self-awareness strengthens your inner watcher, a reminder that personal growth is a journey to be celebrated rather than a task to complete. Learning to embrace silence as a space for reflection also strengthens the inner watcher. Silence provides a calm environment where thoughts and feelings can be observed without external distractions. In silence, you can engage deeply with your inner world, allowing insights to arise naturally. Each moment of silence builds a sanctuary for the inner watcher, a mental space where self-awareness flourishes without interruption. This practice reinforces the value of stillness, a reminder that clarity often arises in quiet moments rather than in constant activity. Through these practices, embracing the inner watcher becomes a journey of continuous discovery and growth. By cultivating curiosity, detachment, and self-compassion, you develop an inner presence that observes without judgment, a steady awareness that illuminates without criticism. This Stoic approach to self-awareness offers a path to inner peace, a deep understanding that doesn't require perfection but values insight and compassion. With each moment of reflection, you strengthen the inner watcher, a reminder that true clarity is a lifelong practice that grows from curiosity, kindness, and thoughtful observation. In just 3 hours, we've traveled through the depths of Stoic wisdom, exploring powerful keys to a more peaceful, grounded life. From building unshakable self-esteem and letting go to attract what truly matters, to embracing solitude, conserving energy, and mastering the art of focus, each lesson reinforces the profound resilience that Stoicism offers. With each step, you've come closer to creating an inner sanctuary, a place of unwavering strength and tranquility, free from the weight of external validation or distractions. Your journey toward inner peace is just beginning, and the beauty of Stoicism is that it's not about perfection. It's about learning, growing, and applying these timeless practices every day. Embrace the inner watcher within you to observe without judgment, protect your energy like a valuable resource, and navigate the conflicts within with clarity. This path leads to a peace that can withstand any storm, rooted firmly in your own principles and purpose. If these teachings resonated with you or brought you new insights, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What practice spoke to you the most? Which one will you start applying right away? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more transformative Stoic insights that bring lasting peace and purpose into your life.